doing a thing, and then every step of the way something went wrong. So I'm trying to figure out. All right, cool, because I never.
So wait a minute. You actually went out there and tried to shoot by yourself?
I wasn't outside.
Oh, you was in the house.
I was right here.
Now, I've done it, but it's ass. It's ass.
No, I was recording myself, and I was recording Studio One, and it every step of every time I went to do a different thing was like, oh, this isn't set up. Oh shit! All right, how do I set this up? All right, cool. And while I was doing this, the camera was still rolling. So as I'm doing this, then I look up. Oh, video recording has stopped. Fuck, I'm at 30 minutes already. All right, hit record again. Start doing it. Fuck, can't figure out how to do this. All right, how do I do this? YouTube. All right, okay, okay, cool. Go back, fix it, but that ain't work. Fuck.
You know the day is gonna come, because I'm owning it now, where we're gonna have cameras that don't do that.
Well, yeah. But nigga, then I'm trying to figure it out. Boop, video camera here, stop recording. What the fuck? I'm at 30 minutes again. All right, so it's been an hour now. Hit record again, and then I was finally able to do what I was trying to do. But,
and then the bad thing is, using up all kinds of space on a damn memory card.
Well, I mean, it's fine. It only ended up being 48 gigs.
Nigga.
48 fucking gigs, yo.
Ass.
So
that's ass.
Recording with C-Log off. Mm-hmm. So regular contrast and saturation and all that. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes is 13 gigs. Was I in 4K? I don't even know if I was in 4K.
30 minutes, 13 gigs. Yo, the last time I
might not have been in 4K.
The last time I didn't shoot in 4K.
Actually, I can find out. Hold up.
Was when I did that, shot the video for my mother-in-law's temple. Because I ain't know how long.
That's not even 4K. Hold on, how fucking big it would have been if I was shooting in 4K.
I do. Too damn big. It would have been too damn big.
Man, yo, what the fuck? Yeah.
Ah, damn.
Yeah, I don't.
But I wonder if the bit rate also has something to do with how big the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if that's the case, your camera shoots in a high bit rate.
Yep.
What up, this?
It doesn't matter because what up? It don't matter because it would never be that long again. It was just because I wasn't prepared. That type of thing would never take an hour and a half again unless I was actually working for an hour and a half.
Said you was working your camera.
Right. That shit was like, yo, we about to stop. Nope, we stopped. All right, fuck. You gonna come back on? Oh yeah, we didn't overheat. We just reached the limit.
Yeah, because you was in the house. Like,
no, nigga, that don't matter. It get hot and yo. Never mind. That's a part of the week.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a whole thing. Actually, no. The fucking the firmware updates have really changed that. I knew that was gonna happen last time. Yeah, I don't remember the last time my shit overheated.
I knew that was gonna happen because at the time when that camera came out, this was literally the only criticism I heard about the camera was the overheating. Everybody else had glowing reviews except for the overheating. And I said to myself, you know, they don't just put cameras out and then go about their business. No, there's firmware updates. They're gonna give it a firmware update, and it's gonna handle that. Yeah. And how long did it take for them to do it though?
I mean, it's been several. We're on 1.4 now. And the first one came out like within a week of the camera's release.
But that didn't fix the issue with that.
I mean, incrementally, like it was a good a good improvement over original, but
Right.
it wasn't like fixed. But
Right.
yeah, but this last one came out, I want to say however long ago I can find out, because if I look on my YouTube channel and look at these vlogs that I put out, channel videos, I want to say 2 months ago. 2 months ago was this one, this from it where it came out, and yeah, since then I have not had one overheating issue. I mean, actually, really, realistically, before then I really wasn't having too many of them, but I have not had any. I have not had.
I feel
a
like if you went outside,
close.
I feel like if you was outside a lot more in some hot, you probably would have, because that's what I saw. A lot of people were saying that when it was outside when it was hot.
You realize I'm on the 3rd story and the sun beams, nigga. It gets hot. It's hotter in here than it is outside when it's hot.
Never.
No, nigga, it's hotter in here than it is outside when it's hot, nigga. No, fuck that. But the biggest issue
that should never be the case, by the way. Like, yo, at no point should you allow that to be ever.
It's not really whatever. The point is, also the difference is when I'm outside, I'm not shooting for that long. I'm rarely ever. The camera would never really be recording for more than 5 minutes for what I usually do when I have the camera outside.
You should bring that tactic inside.
That's impossible.
You would say
I'm not doing that.
You would save on space.
What up, Biddy?
What up, Biddy? Listen, then you wouldn't have 30 minutes. No, you wouldn't have.
I don't need to save space. We don't need to be judicial with space.
You wouldn't have 25 minutes of extra.
We don't need to be judicious with space inside.
Look, man,
I have all the tools that I need to move.
That's why you're navigating with video clips that's 30 minutes long.
It's only 3 videos.
So you said it's only 3 videos?
Instead of having 45 videos.
So that's an hour and a half.
That's what I said. Well, it's not quite an hour and a half. The last one wasn't. Like I said, the last one was me doing what I was trying to do.
That's a lot of footage. I'm not fucking with that amount of footage. I'm not doing it.
That's going to be the easy part. This is going to be the easiest edit job I've ever done in my life. Because I know exactly what happened. The vast majority of it is getting cut. It's the issue when you have stuff in and out. And no, I know exactly what happened.
You should probably keep some of that footage.
Vlog. No, it's not even useful. It started off as a regular vlog,
it's B-roll.
Then it's not even useful in any way, shape, or form. And then you just cut large swaths of it out. And then it's gonna be the easiest. I already set up a DaVinci project. I already put all the clips in there and everything. So it's probably gonna be the easiest edit job I've ever done in my life. Now, an actual hour and a half edit? Nah, I don't. Listen, I quit. Whatever job requires me to do an hour and a half. No, fuck that.
What up, Cindy? Cindy on the beach right now.
Yeah, no. That's it. Yeah, whatever job requires me to actually edit an hour and a half of footage, I quit.
Yeah.
Nah, it's over.
It depends on the paycheck. Though.
Listen, I don't know.
That's a bag. If it's a bag, I'm
gonna just send it to you then, because I don't.
Yeah, listen. That has to be life-changing money though.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm not. Listen, I know me. It's just certain things that I'm not capable of doing. That's one of them. An hour and a half of actual footage, having to edit it. No, B.
See, but that's typically when you film. And this was a statement that the reason why I put this up here is because you see how they troll us.
Oh, no, I've been dealing with this shit
that
since.
was
However, whatever time it was in this morning.
But typically when you're out there filming, the more footage, the better, because you have a lot to work with, a lot to.
Yeah, that's fine, but we're not talking about an hour and a half. Like, no, there's no reason. Like, unless you damn troll, unless the purpose is like to film, like to make a movie, like a actual, then maybe. But outside of that, I can't see any legitimate reason to have an hour and a half's worth of material that you have to wait.
That's typically the only reason that I've heard is that it's better to. Well, it depends on the type of film you're doing too. Like,
sure, because it could be a 15-minute film.
It don't have to be super long. You know what I'm saying? But typically, from everything I've read about it, because I haven't shot a movie yet, so but everything I've read about is better to have more footage.
I get it.
Than not. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that just applies to video in general. But again, not if I have legitimately an hour and a half. No, I'm not going, because that means, to legitimately edit an hour and a half long video would mean that I have probably 2 hours worth of material.
Yeah.
If not more.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And I have to listen to and watch that several times over. That's going to be a multiple day, several hour job.
I'm seriously sitting there thinking. So when the last time I was in, what else special space? The last time I was in Florida, it was me and the family, and we went to Disney and we went to Universal. Right, we stayed there a week. So I didn't get. I got a bunch of footage. I didn't get as much as I probably would have liked, but I did get a lot of footage when I came home. Sure. I remember poring over the footage. Same with Belize. Same with Belize, right? I remember pouring through the footage, and this shows you the difference in temperament between you and me. For me, I'm like, ooh, I got this, I got that. For you, it's like, man, this is too much shit.
No, fuck that. Listen, when we go, I can't do it when we go to Dominican Republic. I'm going to make an attempt. I'll say this now. So try to remember so you can hold me to it, because I'm damn sure going to forget, because it's not something I really want to do. The next time, not including Dominican Republic, not this next trip,
right?
But after that, the next time I go on the trip, I'm going to attempt, because here's the funny thing, I never end up making a legitimate, complete, cohesive vlog. It's always that something, what up, Pum? It's always something that ends up being left out because of something that happens in real life that precludes me from getting the footage that I need to make. I'm going to make an attempt. Again, not the Dominican Republic. That's not going to happen. There's no way. It's dead. It's absolutely impossible. But
see, the thing about that, is
I'm going to try.
This is the thing I think a lot of people don't consider, who consume the vlogging content but don't vlog themselves.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to these interesting places and these great locales, the vlogger in you, the creative in you goes like, I'm a camera.
Right.
I'm gonna get this footage. Oh man, this is a great angle right here. I could do a vlog from here, or I could use this for B-roll. All that's what the vlogger and creative in you says.
Sure.
When you're there,
real life still exists.
Because then you have to because then you have to balance between being in the experience or just recording the experience.
Right.
And that, like, you got choices you gotta make.
Because ideally what I want to capture for you is me being in the experience.
Right.
But that doesn't, that switch, sometimes you can flip it. Sometimes it just be like,
facts.
Yeah, sometimes it just don't work. So I know, for instance, I get pissed off easily. Well, annoyed, not pissed off. I get annoyed easily.
I get a bit of both.
When I get annoyed, when I get annoyed, fuck this vlog. That's not how I feel, but it's what happens.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Because 2 reasons. One, I'm trying to figure out how to make myself less annoyed at the moment.
Right.
Whether that's me doing something internally or me saying something to the people involved or whatever the case may be. So my mind being on that means my mind is less on recording. And
Right.
2, I do not, this is different. Again, we're past time, but we technically haven't started.
Right.
Again, just to let everybody know that listens, I play a character on here. I play a character on this show. I do not want that to extend to my vlogging. That's not the purpose of the vlogs. Is not for people to like hear me complain about shit. Like that's not that's not my intent ever.
Right.
So if I'm annoyed, I'm not that guy. Like I wear that shit on my sleeve. I'm not that guy that can like just be like, hey, so no, it's just not. It's not inside. It's not inside. I would have to actually attempt to do that. And again, if I'm annoyed, my mind's already on trying to fix the annoyance or curb it as much as I possibly can.
You know what's interesting about that? So it is 2 different mindsets between doing this show and going out vlogging. And I flip into it often, even though I don't vlog as much as I used to, but I flip into, actually that's not true. I vlog a lot, I just don't be uploading shit. But like it's a different mindset because, and I think it's because of the way I've been conditioned to do that content. Yeah. When I started seriously vlogging, it wasn't about the humorous side of myself. It was I was expressing a point of view, or I was describing something, or attempting to educate. Right. So instantly, I go into that mode. Whereas with the podcast, it's a whole different bag. It's like a whole different, you know what I'm saying? And even with interviews, I do interviews with people, even that, well, that is a bit of both. Like that me is a bit of both. It's informative and
you want to see you people people scoff at me when I tell them how shy I am and all that other bullshit. You want to see that? Look at an interview. That's when that comes out. Like I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm not in control. Like that's the biggest thing with the video. With anything I'm on camera with, it's hard for me to navigate when I'm not in some type of control.
Yeah.
When I don't know what's going on. Like it doesn't matter. It's not about the person doing it.
Right.
Because I can trust Shafril. Come on now.
Yeah, facts.
I trust Shafril. Like
mind your business, Palm.
I trust Shafril's video making over my own. So like,
Shafril is a badass with that. He definitely is. However, from what I've been seeing of your compositions lately, they're pretty comparable. Like I don't see the huge gap anymore.
What I think is, I think mine is a feel. I think his is very
technical,
planned out.
Yep. Same here.
That's the I think that's the difference between us, and that's where that shows. And I want to be more planned out. Yeah, like I would love to be more planned out.
You know what?
Which is why
I think you just might not be that type of filmmaker.
Yeah,
like
probably not.
It could be a case of where you learn technical proficiency over planning a specific this because when we shot those 2 videos was it last year now? Those 2 videos last year.
A year exactly. That's funny.
A year exactly.
That was in the vlog. It was like the 13th. it was June the 13th. Well,
that's crazy.
It might have been a week or so after that, but yeah, about that.
That's crazy. But even with that, right? You notice we didn't go. The only plan we had is, yo, this is a dope ass backdrop.
That's facts.
That's it. And then that's it. And then we went in there.
This is a dope backdrop. These are the songs we're doing.
Yeah. And we just went in there and did what we did. And I thought the videos came out really good, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why I said, man, I noticed that at my method, and there's something that Joseph said, even about the way I write for the comic book and conceptualize, is I plant seeds and then let's see where the seeds go. But I typically I know the ending I'm trying to get to. I already know the ending I'm trying to get to, but how to get there I just let it flow. Right. And I think that might be similar to the film shooting stuff. Like it's like that. Like I know where I'm trying to get to.
Oh yeah.
But when I get there, it's all organic. It's all right. Yo, how about this? Now don't get me wrong. That's why I said it's a blend, because I went and scouted the area before.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those things are what you would what a filmmaker is kind of expected to do.
Right.
You go and you scout the location that you're going to shoot this, so you can get ideas for how to shoot it, what type of lighting you're going to need, all of that other stuff, right? But once I'm once I'm already there in the moment, and the camera's like, look, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Showtime. It's showtime. I was just saying.
Facts.
Just the way it is, B. That's the way it is.
I don't. But yeah, like I said, even though I trust you for with that first interview that he did with me, it was like, what am I supposed to do?
You know what it might be too? You know what? It's like anything else. You would have to do it more in order for you to get comfortable laying there. Because truth be told, I've done a fair share of interviews over these last 10 years. And it's always what am I talking about when I get on here? There's very rarely a case where I have an agenda or something I want to talk about, unless I'm promoting something or promoting either album release, my channel, or a concept that I'm trying to, like, for instance, the one time I was on TV in Virginia, and my whole thing before I even got there was to tell people how important it is to support indie artists with your dollars, because they don't have the budget that these people that are signed to these big labels have, and this helps them bring you more of the content that you like.
Absolutely.
You know, and make it better.
Turn the waves down, goddammit. How about that?
How about you just hit the mute on the waves?
Right.
Just mute the
It'll
waves.
probably help you out. Shit.
She's ass. So like that's pretty much the only time I can think of going in there when I have an agenda. I wonder what this fool gonna ask me. Right. You know what I'm saying? But then after I did it for a while, I had certain go-to responses about certain types of questions, because I would wind up getting the same type of questions from a lot of these interviewers. You know, so I think if you did it more, and maybe if Shro asks better questions, I think, yeah, you would probably do better with that. I'm just saying, yo, because it is kind of about, like, the interview has to make you feel comfortable.
That's the other thing.
You know?
It's about me. I do not like fucking attention.
That's it.
Leave me alone.
And niggas like, no. Nigga, like, sit down in front of this camera. Answer these questions.
Facts. You're like, no, leave me alone. I don't want to. No, don't look at me. Don't listen to me. What are y'all doing?
My son used to say that stupid shit when he was a kid. He'd do something that he absolutely should be embarrassed about. And then his response would always be, don't look at me.
Facts
Yo,
though. Like,
he ain't been. He's kind of still that Malik, but he ain't been that Malik in a lot like that. Yo, if you guys ever wanted to see an example of that Malik, I'm trying to remember which channel that I put it on. It might have been on the. It might be on the Tombstone, the Dead Man, or it could be. No, I think it's the Tombstone, the Dead Man, because I didn't have the re-release when this happened. Because Malik was way younger then. There's a video where it had snowed like crazy, like it had buried Maryland in snow. Maryland was just buried, and we were out. This one, I wasn't even living in Laurel at the time. I was up there visiting, and it did some stupid shit. And we was digging out. Wait a minute, was I living up there at the time? I don't remember, but I remember that. No, Siobhan wasn't, but Siobhan was up there. At the time, I didn't have custody, and Siobhan was up there, and we were digging that truck out. And yo, that video still makes me laugh to this day, because this little nigga was out there with tennis shoes on and snow that was up to my hip.
That's funny.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he was shorter then, right? So it's like, yo, I can't believe you out here doing that. And yo, it was basically a fail vlog. Like every mistake he made up there. I put that on the video, laughing at him and shit. and then ended it with Siobhan going, well, I said, no, because everything he did that was screwed up, I would highlight it and then end it with fail. Like, it's just a fail, like that. At the end, Siobhan pops in with no epic fail. Yo, shit was hilarious, yo.
Man.
Shit was hilarious, yo. And that look, I shot that video with one of them cylinder
camcorder.
Oh,
camcorder.
I hate that things.
It is what it is.
I ain't know better.
Let's get this thing on the road.
All right. Let me take a sip of libation.
No, not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't really
recommend it. Okay.
Now,
yo, that was ass.
My bad.
That was ass.
I apologize. I've lost my place.
Yes, you have. But now I have to do that. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
You
and I am Tombstone's a Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, once again, conspicuous by his absence. Yeah, my man Addy is
pretty much here. As long as they're gonna keep giving the money, you're gonna keep taking the money. So,
and he should. So Addy's at work again, but you know, who knows? Maybe he'll be here before we're over. Actually, I don't think so, because you got some recording to do today, don't you?
I mean, if the nigga show up, I mean,
the nigga better show. He's showing up here. He's showing up here. You gotta take his ass over there. Yeah, we got some stuff I'm sure that we want to talk to you about today. Yeah, but I think the first thing we should probably get into is what were our weeks like. So, are you going first?
No,
I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Something must be ass. So I have a couple of things, and one of them I already talked to you about on live, but I thought this would be funny for them. Mm-hmm. So the other day, I went outside for a minute to get some air. And I sat in the backyard. Well, first of all, before I even get to that part, this other part, is it like mating season right about now for mosquitoes?
I don't really. Okay.
Shoosh.
I bet.
The reason I'm asking this is because when I went to take my walk, which by the way, I walked further yesterday than I have in quite some time.
Huh.
But when I went to take my walk, oh wow, that's crazy.
What?
Ken just shared shared something with me in my inbox that I'm probably going to share on the screen because that was 9 years ago. But anyway, when I went to take a walk, this is the furthest walk I've done in quite a bit of time, right? But starting to walk off, already started off, I knew I messed up because I get to the end of the block. You know, it's a bunch of trees and all this other stuff, but it's, you know, you still like a street with a block. Yeah, it's not trees, but still a street with a block. I get this mosquito landing on my arm. I'm like, what the hell? So I knock it off. I said, damn, I forgot to get use the spray, the bug spray, right? Yo, when I looked up, then another one was on my phone. Then another one was on top of my head. And then I started to notice and look around. Yo, they were everywhere. I mean,
what were they?
They were all, bro, it was like a curtain of them just out. And I'm like, the only time I've experienced something similar to that is by water.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, because they lay their eggs there.
They do that.
My business, napalm. And Cindy said mosquitoes are the unofficial bird of Florida. Well, look, a lot of them must have migrated up here because when I walked out there, bro, this is a street that leads into Baltimore Avenue. It's nowhere near any big body of water. Yo, you could see they were just in the air, floating there all over. Like, what the fuck? And these sons of bitches harassed me all the way. I think I walked from the China buffet all the way down to Rita's icy whatever. Yo, the whole time I'm bastard. The whole time, yo. The whole time, like, what the hell? So shut up. So the funny thing is, where I was getting to, there'd be a lot more foliage. So I'm thinking to myself, man, this is ass, but I'm too far. I done walked too far now to go all the way back home to get that shit. Like, this is gonna be an ass experience. Funny thing was, when I got down there to where the Paint Branch Trail was at, there's this you've seen it before. I took you down to see it before. There's a giant park, open field or whatever, and it's a path, one that goes this way and one that goes that way. And I went to the one where where you walk near the golf course. Yo, they wasn't bugging right there. I walked a whole mile, but there's water. Like when you get to the golf course, there's literally water. I walked a whole mile. The reason I know it was a mile because the marker. So I walked the whole mile. I didn't get harassed, and then at a certain point, that last mile, yo, there was, oh my good, bro. Cindy says mosquitoes have a preference for old blood type. I've heard that. So they love her. I've heard that. All I know is they was out, B. So that was ass, but I dealt with it, and surprisingly, I don't have a bunch of mosquito bites on me. So I must have,
net positive.
I must have came through that. Right before they had a chance. Yes, that's exactly. I'm going with that. I'm going with that. Okay. I'm running with it. So I get back to the house, and before I go in, I sit down out there in the backyard, collect myself, get stuff together, come back in the house. And then when I get back in the house, I take my blood pressure. Every time I do that, I take my blood pressure because I'm still doing my experimentation. I'm still saying how much this helps.
Sure.
Helps a hell of a lot, by the way. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Any of you listen that if you're not disabled or anything, and you have an issue with blood pressure, walking, getting that for at least 30 minutes or more, getting that your heart rate up, it lowers it. Like, it really does. What's up, sis? So guess who happened to be outside when I got to the backyard?
Not Millie.
No. The fat black and white cat, JB. He's out there.
That's a good point.
Shut up, Palm.
That's a good point.
Like even just 30 minutes a day. Exactly, Cindy. So he's laying maybe about 5 feet from me, right? Just chilling. And all of a sudden, this bird flies into the bush that's like 7 feet from him. So JB, he does one of those, that little weird shit that the cats do. This noise they make, like they're almost like they're trying to imitate the bird or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing that shit, right? And then that bird launched into a verbal assault, the likes of which probably no cat has ever withstood. Now, because he was in the bush, JB couldn't really get him, right? So JB instantly realized, oh, this is a battle. We battling. So we try to, go back. Nah, that bird had a husky Biggie Smalls voice. He was over there giving it to him. He put JB behind bars to the point where JB just shut up. And the bird was still going. It was so ass. I tried to call my wife, but she didn't have a phone on us. So I called Siobhan to give her the phone. Yo, JB out here getting roasted by this bird. When I told my mother-in-law about it, she brought up a very good point. You see, JB has not always been an outside cat. Like his time outside when we lived in Laurel, he was only outside by the front. He might have went around to the back every now and then, but he didn't go anywhere for real. The other, Would you call him, sis? Notorious B.I.R.D. Look, but he's not. He's really just starting to, as old as he is, starting to get his legs with the outside life, right? But had that been one of our other cats, had that been T'Challa, had that been Zora, let me tell you something. Zora and T'Challa would have went in that bush and then went in that bird's mouth. They'd have went in his mouth and brought out every worm, go cricket, that bird had ever eaten, had ever consumed.
Oh, God.
What? You wasn't talking. You wasn't. What? Nah. Listen, let me get a classic example. There was a time we first moved around here. There was a gang of squirrels that ran the street. They ran the block. I remember when we pulled up, it was like 20 of them out in the middle of the damn street. Like, what the fuck? Right? So these motherfuckers were so ass. They did what they wanted. If you put your trash out there and if it was a way for them to get in it, they was getting in it and they was gonna rip that shit and have that shit all over the goddamn driveway and shit, right? All it took was for Zora to get acclimated to the outside. Knowing the neighborhood, knowing where to go. That shit calmed the fuck down. But it was still a few, right, that was still holding on to their territory. That's around the time when T'Challa started going outside. So whoever else of them who decided they was going to try to hold their territory, nah, B, not in this yard.
No.
Not in this yard. So much so that I remember one time I'm sitting in the backyard watching YouTube. T'Challa's in the lawn chair next to me. And he don't notice it at first because he's chilling. But I see a squirrel literally walk through our gates, not come from the tree. Sashayed his ass through the gate and stood there like taking the lay of the land, And all I'm thinking is T'Challa ain't seen him yet. Or the wind ain't shift and he can't caught a whiff yet. But when he does, you're gonna regret this shit. You're gonna regret this shit here.
Oh God.
T'Challa must have eventually like noticed that he was there. And I'm telling you, when he looked at it for a moment, just looked. I swear to you, I could see his eyebrows furrow like,
hold on.
Oh, fuck! You my backyard. And proceeded to chase. Now, Squirrel did get away.
Well,
but he I know one thing, that squirrel aged. That squirrel had to have aged at least three years because he was scared as shit. But he got away. And once the squirrel got away, though, to his credit, he started running his mouth. He got up in the tree. Running his mouth. Yo. So, like I said, if Zora was still alive and T'Challa was still here, there ain't a single bird. These birds didn't want to fly across the yard. Like, no, I'm not fucking with them. I'm not fucking with them. And they ain't like each other. Zora and T'Challa did not like each other at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially towards the end, was Zora was getting sick or whatever. Yeah. Truthfully, Zora didn't like any cats. She didn't like people. Cats were beneath her.
Sure.
And if you got to know her, you would agree. you would agree. She's too smart for them. Like, fuck out of here. So that's one of the things that I seen this week. This is other observation I had this week. Some of y'all gotta chill, man.
Well, hold on. Let's be clear. Most of
y'all gotta chill, man. I saw people with these takes about Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey.
Oh God.
And listen. I don't know neither one of these folks. Yo,
neither do y'all.
But neither do y'all. And some of the takes that I saw you guys giving on that were absurd. So let's let the record show. Regardless what else Lori Harvey may have done in her life, however other type of game she may have played in another relationship, whatever situation she found herself into, maybe made a poor decision. I don't know. I don't know. That does not determine whether or not she has to stay with anybody she doesn't want to be with. Another thing, for all of you motherfuckers out there who have taken upon yourself to keep that phrase "high valued male" alive, yo, y'all be showing yourselves, man. Y'all be showing yourselves a lot. One of the takes was, see, it just goes to show you that no matter what a man do, Michael B. Jordan, he stays in shape, he's wealthy, he's successful. This, that, and other. I know he was a good guy to her. Because they obviously know him. I don't know the man. I know he was a good guy to her. Can anybody tell me he wasn't? And look, that wasn't good enough. And I sat there going, so you trying to take this situation with these two very wealthy celebrities, right? You trying to take this situation with them and paste it over regular relationships. According to you niggas, right? Nobody ever gets married anymore. Well, how the fuck do I keep seeing all these wedding pictures on my goddamn timeline? You're unhinged. You are.
Oh, well.
You're unhinged. A lot of you guys are unhinged, man. Like, this idea that it's going to be money alone or whatever else alone that's going to create a situation that's going to make somebody feel like they need to be with somebody. You guys are not privy to their relationship, to any of the conversations they done had with each other, any of the experiences they had, any of the disappointments they done had. You don't know dick. All you know is what the celebrity media will choose to celebrate about a celebrity couple, right? That's all you know. And may I remind you, that's Steve Harvey's kid. Money's not going to impress her like that.
Right.
Steve Harvey got a bunch of money.
Yep.
So money is not going to impress her. So take that and pull that out of the equation, because it's not like she's going to start doing bad now. Then I saw this take. All right, y'all. So as soon as Michael B. Jordan started dating white women, I don't want to hear nothing. Oh, so now Lori Harvey is a proxy for all black women.
Pardon me. No, it's worse than that. No, I get your outrage at that statement, but it's worse than that. Michael B. Jordan has already been dating white women.
Yes.
That's a thing that's been, like
that already happened.
Y'all don't remember when niggas was roasting them for that before?
They don't remember that, but they can tell. They can tell you that he was that something about their relationship.
Yeah,
it's the dumb. Some of y'all are hurting unhinged. You're hurting unhinged, and now
terrible combination.
It's a terrible combination to have. I don't know if you're hurt because you're unhinged, or you got unhinged because you were hurt. I don't know which one it was, but whatever it is, you are. These takes is nothing but projection. That's all it is. Y'all have some feelings that y'all need to confront, that y'all need to go to a therapist about. The world done you wrong. And hey, I get it. I think everybody can benefit from a little therapy, right? But some of you guys need to take the therapist couch to work with you. You need to put it on, tied on top of your car and drive everywhere you go, because it's leaking out, bro. Like it's leaking out all over social media. It's leaking out all over social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yikes.
Is that Sean Black? That's Sean Black. Yep, Sean Black 410. Sean Black, ladies and gentlemen, was my very first producer. Very first producer. He taught me more about music and the time that we was in the group together than I learned any other time before then. You know what I'm saying? But some of y'all unhinged, and it shows. You don't know them folks. You don't know them. You don't know. I'm going to say this as me. You don't know them. And here's the thing that's crazy. Well, the other thing that's crazy. Yes, I get that they're celebrities, but you cannot believe that everything that you read in the press about them is all that they are.
Yeah.
They're people with full, whole fucking lives.
Right.
I would wager that many of you unhinged motherfuckers couldn't tell me about the relationship of your neighbor who lives right next door to you.
Who you see every day.
But you're going to sit here and talk about people who are in spaces you never go. Spaces you can't afford to go. And spaces many times that would not allow your dusty ass to be there, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is you? They would call security. If you was the security, excuse me, there are some derelicts out here while we're trying some ruffians while we're trying to eat out escargots. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? What are you really doing out here? And I get it. It's a celebrity thing. You know, listen, they're famous. People gonna talk about you. That's part of the game. I'm sure they understand that. It just goes with the territory. However, some of y'all just reaching for like what other than the stuff that's been publicly shared, you do realize that a relationship has a whole lot more going on than the stuff that was publicly shared, right?
Yo,
there's conversations, there's incidents, there's stuff that y'all don't know nothing about.
All things, good, bad, indifferent, blue, white.
Facts.
Yeah, like you just what? No.
Facts.
You're not an expert on this particular topic.
You really are. Yo,
you don't have the details necessary to be as sure as you are.
I find this to be yet another an example, what I've seen from people when it comes to other topics. A lot of y'all don't know dick. It just is what it is. You don't.
I mean,
you spend the majority of your time, and don't get it twisted. All work, there's value and honor in all work. But a lot of y'all spend your time, the majority of your time, doing that. Y'all work. Some of y'all work more than y'all see y'all family.
Facts.
Right? So you're not in the position to pontificate on a lot of shit. I be seeing motherfuckers pontificate doing.
Here's my thing. I just don't care. Like, not let me be clear when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of celebrities who I'm fans of, right?
Yes.
And I know personal information about them.
Mm-hmm. But not.
But I don't really care for the details
that they shared with you. This
no,
is like they call SPJ. Let me tell you what happened to me the other day. No.
Reported information.
Yes.
Even if it's confirmed by them, but still,
right.
Reported information. It's like when I started seeing this story, I kept seeing, dang, Michael B. Jordan. She did Michael B. Jordan dirty, blah, blah, blah. I had honestly forgot who he was in a relationship with.
Me too.
I didn't even hold you.
Because I didn't care.
Yeah, it's not important. Like, legitimately, the extent to that, I don't know anything about Lori Harvey. I know she's Steve Harvey's daughter.
Nigga,
I know she
just
was dating
out
another famous person.
I just found out she was Steve Harvey's daughter when this whole that's how much I didn't care. That's how much I didn't care.
So, like, I knew she was Steve Harvey's daughter, and I knew she was dating another famous person before Michael B. Jordan. I knew those things. But I ain't gonna hold you. When they got together, the extent of information that my brain filtered in was, oh, Michael B. Jordan's with a black girl now.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That was it. That was the extent.
I heard that too.
Again, fuck Lori Harvey. Because I'm not a fan of her. I don't know. Like, I don't.
What does she do? I don't even know what she do. What does she do besides being Steve Harvey's daughter?
Like, she's Steve Harvey's daughter. That's all I know.
What does she do?
Yeah, like I don't care. I don't need to know. Again, I'm not a fan of her, so I'm less concerned with who she's dating. I don't know nothing about. Like, again, I know she used to date another famous person. I don't even remember who it was. Like,
no, I wound up hearing all about it from these posts.
No,
all the reasons that she is apparently in their mind she was supposed to stay there.
And these are the type of things that I'm talking about. Remember, I don't know if it was last week or the week before. Remember when I told you that I have this filter that apparently other people don't have, where I don't scroll Twitter any less than. Right, I probably do.
You probably
but
do. Right.
But I don't not scroll Twitter. I don't I don't not scroll my Facebook. I don't not scroll IG. I be on social media looking at shit. I don't come across the shit that y'all niggas come across. Like, I don't. I just don't.
It might also depend on too how many people follow you, how many people you follow, because if you have a bigger pool of people, the odds are you're going to have a wider spread of conversations. It's just more people, you know what I'm saying, that's interested in different things. I have a bunch of artists, local artists from Baltimore and elsewhere on my shit, actors or wannabe actors.
I also think you specifically are nicer with social media than I am. I'm not following you back. I don't fucking know you. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know you.
That's a good point. But you know what? That's how I am on most social media, except for the social media where I have a following.
Right.
The difference with me and Facebook has been, and we talked about this before, how I felt like I kind of screwed up early on, because a lot of people was following me because of my music, and I was getting them wherever they come, when I should have been directing and filtering to my artist page. But that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, some of y'all hurting unhinged.
Well, sure.
And y'all got all these projection takes.
I keep getting this notification periodically from IG, from the new IG. These people are following you.
I hate them.
Following back. I don't.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know them.
Who are they?
I don't know them. The people that are following me that I know, and the people that are following me on my new IG that I both know and am not annoyed by the shit that they normally post.
Right.
I follow back.
Right.
The rest of you can go over to my other IG. This new IG ain't for that. That's not
Right.
That's not what that's for. So yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, there was a point in time when, well, I guess it's kind of still now, that I curate my social media towards certain things.
Right.
For what most of you already know, like I don't. With me and social media has this kind of crazy relationship where it's a must that I have it to promote the things that I do. But if you've noticed, I don't post anywhere as much as I used to about my personal takes on shit because people are dumb. Well, and and it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, seriously, like, what am I like? I learned a long time ago I can't change none of that shit. Like, I can't change none of that shit. So I can at least sit there with some popcorn while I burn, right? And observe all of this shit. And that's one of the things I observed today, that people are projecting a lot of things on people that they really, you don't know this particular situation, especially considering, like, I saw something the other day. And this is somebody I'm not gonna mention their name because I'm still cool with the person, somebody I grew up with. I saw them making this this moral stand on social media about gay people. I saw them doing that, right? And they're invoking their deity and all of these things as if we don't know you. You got a bunch of energy talking about those folks and making these grandiose moral statements. I don't know where the world has gone to. As if the people on your friends list don't remember the shit.
It's the same place shit. It was approximately 365 days ago. Fuck you mean? I don't. Oh, my bad.
Yo,
that's not what you meant. Okay.
Yo, listen. I'm talking exchanging of STDs with homeboys because they messing with the same bro. And now in 2022, you gonna wax poetic to
about
me
depravity?
And everybody else about what you consider to be depravity or debauchery or fuckery? Is that what we? Yo, some of y'all gotta chill.
Yeah, no, most.
My bad. Most of y'all gotta chill. Yo, this shit y'all doing what other people doing in their personal lives, as if we don't. When you go, if you're not home now, or if you are home, go to the bathroom and look in the mirror. And think back all that suspect ass shit you pulled, right? Go back and then go back and look at the post. Matter of fact, before you post some shit like that, go in the mirror and look at yourself and do a deep dive on your personal history. For real. Do that. Because then you won't have people like me.
What up, McKenna?
Hey, McKenna. You won't have people like me who know you and about whoever many else on your friends list that knew you growing up. Right? Stop it, B. Don't get on here now pretend to be
or make sure none of those people are around.
Oh, but yeah, if you at least make sure there's nobody around. Look at you, go, bro. You're talking this? You really, bro? Don't get on here and all of a sudden, because you in this space and on online spaces, and become Pope Pius III. I'm not jacking it. Listen, don't do that. What's that shit Daylight be doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you was foul. And you know you was foul. But now you want to pretend like you don't have these skills. That's why I said, man, like, yo, minding your business don't cost you nothing,
It comes
B.
at a no, B. It comes at a premium. It comes at a premium these days.
Like,
You can't mind your business because then you won't have anything to talk about because you're not interesting.
yo, that's another great point.
I said that out loud.
Yes, you did. Yo, some of these same people, if they didn't have somebody else's business in their mouth,
bruh,
all they would have is tongue and teeth. Because there's nothing else. There's nothing else. There's nothing else interesting. There's nothing else interesting going on over there. So, these moral tirades, I see some of y'all go on. It's really crazy to me. I'm more concerned about for real. Just
people,
me. People being smarter because that can generally affect me. Your dumbasses out there doing dumbass shit that we live in a society, B. But what these people do in their house, I don't give a fuck what they do. And it's so funny to me how you don't see your own baggage and garbage that you pulled. You did that. But you pointing at these people and talking about just them existing is really? That's crazy. That's a crazy bar because they've been here forever. That's a crazy bar. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I'm just gonna say, mind your motherfucking banana peeling business. Mind your banana peeling, branch gripping business. You know what I'm saying? You are in no position to be out here saying these things about a group of people who you don't know. You don't know them. Obviously, going off of the stuff that I saw that you posted, you obviously don't have any of these people in your life. So what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know what's going on with the world these days. Really?
No, you never knew what was going on with the
right.
world.
These days, I got one word for you. One word right now. Caligula. But you outraged now. What's up, Scott? But you outraged.
Yo,
2022.
Caesar was a wild boy.
He was he was on his Martin Lawn shit. Caesar, you a wild boy. No. Yo, I don't know what's going on here. Anything.
Oh my God! Talk about hedonism.
Fuck out of here, man. Facts, Joe. Like, yo, I just want people to, just consider yourself. Consider yourself before you get on here and pretend to be Father Teresa. Who wasn't shit either. But that's another story. That's another story. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other story. And finally, end this on a good note, right?
Is there a good note?
Yes, there is. As a matter of fact, there is a good note.
There is, because progress.
You gotta. What is that? You said it in a recent rap. You referenced it in a recent rap where you quoted a Yetta saying, "Celebrate all victories. All of them, every single one,
each individual
Vic and Tor and Reed. You got to do that." So, as you know, last time we was on the show, we talked about how we was going to start the Kickstarter during the week. We are happy to announce, for those who don't know, who hasn't been keeping up, that the Kickstarter actually goal was met in 3 days. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's largely thanks to our supportive audience and the people that see value in what we're doing, and we appreciate you guys. We are now coming upon our first stretch goal. We're getting close to 2,500 now. And all that's dope. And we still got many, many more days to go. So anybody who has not and has it and can do it, we would appreciate your support. And there's a tier structure there for various different things you can get at various different support tiers. But that's awesome. Also, Seth Andrews dropped the interview the other day, and we did see another jump, right? It's absolutely, Ken, absolutely. like these are some good times. These are the times at the beginning where the people that invest now will be able to say, yeah, yo, that's dope. They got that Netflix series. But I remember when they were first getting started, and I have an issue with the signature of the writers and the artists on it, or my name is in them books. My name is right there on this page. See, that's me right there. Like these are great time. This nigga say air horns. I got to do it. I got to do it, Sean Black. You know me. I got to do it because people play too much. But yeah, I want to thank you guys again. And I'm gonna put the link. Oh, you already did it, my man. Yeah, man. Like it's definitely dope to see, and there's probably gonna be some more interviews going on because we have our publicists out there making deals and conversations and shit like that. So I'm super excited about that shit. Super excited about it. And thank you guys once again. One more thing. Hold up. This picture was shared to me by Ken. What trying to think where is he at? He's on Facebook. This picture is from, it's like 9 years old. We was out in Austin, Texas. We performed out Austin, Texas. That's me, Graydon, Ken, Alex, and Shelly Segal. That was a dope ass weekend.
Point of order, sir. Stretch goal 1 has been met.
What?
Stretch goal 1 has been met.
You didn't say that. Tell me you did not just say that.
Stretch goal 1 has been met.
Yeah.
Don DeMarco. Stretch goal 1 has been surpassed.
Yo, that's super fire. I wondered, did it happen as we spoke or
right?
Because this morning when I saw it, we was close, but we wasn't there, right? I need to see this for myself. Seriously, like seriously. Hold up, and I'm gonna share this on the screen.
24 days to go.
That's crazy, bro.
Facts.
That's crazy. Go here. Come on. I'll be damned. And with money to spare. Hold up. I'm about to share this on the screen. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
So let me give you guys this. 24 more days to go. Wow, bro. Like
it hasn't been a week.
It hasn't been a week. Well, actually, no, it hasn't.
No, because you put it up Monday.
It's on the 6th. Yeah. That's fire. That's fire. So with the with that meeting that stretch goal, that means stickers.
Yep.
You get some stickers. You get some stickers. Everybody get stickers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about right there, B. So now we're looking at the next stretch goal. We got 24 days. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we really appreciate y'all. Appreciate that. Exciting time to be alive. Exciting time to be on my Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby shit. You know what I'm saying? And look, we probably don't mention this enough, but SPJ is also on his Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby shit.
Yeah.
That man has created an entire universe of his own that will be linked in with what we're doing. He's gonna be writing for Majestic. So we spread the love around here. You know what I'm saying? We spread the love around here. But anyway, yeah, that was my week.
Was it?
It was indeed.
Huh. Interesting how that works.
Yeah, it really is.
So, all right, this guy.
Who did it? Who did it?
Well, I was off and away from most humans, so it was glorious.
You were off this week.
I
You
was
were
productive.
indeed.
I loved damn near every second.
Wow. Yo, listen, for those that might be new to the show, this is not something that we're used to seeing here in this space, right? Because usually, typically in this space, SBJ gives us yet another window, opens up another window. What's up, Freethinker? Another window into like how ass people really are. Typically around this time. To hear him say, but notice what he had to do in order to not do that.
Oh yeah.
He had to not be around people.
Yeah.
Oh, the threshold for Joe. Joe says the threshold. He found it. Oh, good, good.
But for anybody else, it's 4,000.
Yeah, it's 4,000. Look, Biddy says she wear him a just a hoodie right now. Out walking. That's what's up. Yo, this is unexpected. This is an embarrassment of riches. Look, this week has been a pretty dope week, right? Other than the mosquitoes trying to jump them up. Damn.
See, that was my personal. Yeah, that was just me personally. It's still. It's still.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Well, that's not good.
Well, I mean, again, personally, it was great.
Yes.
Personally. But I came across some things, just like you did, you know.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't Twitter. Mine was YouTube. My YouTube subscriptions are wild. Like the average the average person, if they looked at my YouTube subscriptions, they would think I'm crazy. Well, I am, but they would think I'm crazy because of the sheer vastness.
Thank you, Joe.
And the variety. Absolutely. The sheer vastness and variety of the types of YouTubers that I subscribe to, and the different topics and all. But anyway,
same.
One of them, there's a Republican, I don't even remember his name. Fuck his name. There was a Republican equating the mass shootings to 9/11. And what he said was, I remember when 9/11 happened. And we didn't have a bunch of people running around talking about let's ban airplanes.
All right, so did I understand this? He's making an equivalency with terrorists getting on a plane, hijacking the plane, and he's saying because they used the plane as weapons, you didn't see us banning airplanes, and he doesn't know that airplanes aren't used for killing people.
On top of that,
okay,
there were hella regulations put on air travel.
Yo, to the point they literally started the Department of Homeland Security,
right? TSA and all that other, that literally air travel changed forever. Literally
forever. Yo, you know the sad part about all of that is when people, it's the cognitive dissonance, yo, and this is how you know when it's more of a visceral, hyperbolic, emotional, reflective response, other than a considered, a thoughtfully, reflected upon, and it's knee jerk. Oh, they're gonna take away what I like. Look, remember what we did? You're not even thinking, bro. You're not even listening, because There are way better arguments than I'm sure you could have found instead of you jumping out there with this horrible, horrible, horrible take. I find that often too, bro. With a lot of that, like that was emotional. That was an outburst. That was Tourette's, right?
I mean,
that was Tourette's.
I think he was at a podium. So
he had Tourette's at the podium. I am tired of these Tourette's on the podium. That is dumb as fuck.
Further along of old white men saying dumb
yeah,
shit.
Joe, he forgot about the Patriot Act.
Continuing along the theme of old white men saying dumb shit. Jack Del Rio. Some may not know who he is. He played football. He was a middle linebacker for the Cowboys, I believe. Maybe not middle linebacker. I know you know who he is.
I was saying I wish I didn't know.
He was a linebacker for the Cowboys, I believe. He was a coach for the Ravens. He was a coach for the Raiders, and I think the Jaguars. And right now he's a coach. He's a defensive coordinator.
Yo, I just caught napalm. So I gotta acknowledge this. He's the worst, but he's also the best. Yeah.
And he's currently at Washington as a defensive coordinator, I believe.
Wow.
Here's what he said. People's livelihoods are being destroyed. Businesses are being burnt down, no problem. Referring to the BLM.
Yes, because that was happening everywhere.
And then we have a dust up at the Capitol, nothing burnt down, and we're going to make that a major deal. I just think it's kind of two standards.
You know, the funny thing about that stupid ass statements
Dust
like
up.
that.
Dust up is
crazy. Dust up is crazy, right? But you can always tell what people value and what they don't by how they critique something, right? So we can all, for the most part, say that it is unfortunate that out of the millions of people
the
millions
and millions
of people who protested when George Floyd got arrested, there was a few of them that got out of control. And we find out that some of the people that were doing that shit weren't even actually there for the cause. A lot of them was there to create havoc, chaos. Sure. We can all say that's unfortunate. But you can't say, because you see what you value, you can't see how the shit that's not supposed to happen, what's not supposed to happen is a sitting president. It's not supposed to sick an already confused and misinformed mob on the government that he was the sitting president of.
Not supposed
and
to.
Then they go in there and wreak havoc and smear shit on the wall.
Literal. No, hold up, stop. Again, I need this to be clear. Literal feces.
Literal feces on the wall. This is why I said in that one song off of Insurrection Day, I don't want to hear none of that shit about personal responsibility from you fucks anymore. I don't want to hear it. Because you motherfuckers went in there and blamed it on BLM. You motherfuckers went in there and blamed it on Antifa. We literally watched you in real time do that fuck shit to the Capitol building. The Capitol building, by the way, one of many buildings there that I was taught as somebody that grew up in Maryland my entire life. I was taught if you fuck around those government buildings, you're going to find out.
Yeah.
Y'all did that, and you can't even accept the responsibility of saying that people that believe the same shit you do, have the same political bent that you did, they was out of control. They went and did that. And the guy that inspired that and his folks Oh, we finding out more and more information. At these 16 months gone by, more and more information is coming out, and they're going to display all that shit. I watched it out the first one the other day of the thing. They're gonna put all that shit out there. And here's the thing: you can say the goofy shit all you want about. Oh, this is a Democratic witch hunt. Democrats, video is video.
Yeah.
Audio is audio. You can come with all that dumb shit you want. Video is video. Audio is audio.
The thing about bullshit is you can absolutely believe it.
Yes.
That's the thing about, like, you may not be being disingenuous. You may just be stupid.
Right, facts.
And I'm starting to come to terms with that a lot more with a lot of the people that I disagree with on certain things. Like,
hold on a second.
Like, you aren't being disingenuous. This is legitimately how you feel and legitimately how you think. And you've come to this conclusion in a logical way, just not using real facts. So I'm still mad at you because it's stupid. But come on now. Democratic witch hunt. All right, so are you mad that the people that did it and were caught doing it are Republican? Or are you mad that those people are being searched for and prosecuted?
Right.
Because
Right. I'm trying to figure out which one that is too. Seriously, I'm trying to figure out which one that is too, bro. Because here's the thing about it, right? If you're on, like, say this group of people agree with me on certain issues, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If they go do some fuck shit,
they did some fuck shit.
That's it. That's it.
Facts.
Alternative logic. Right. Like if they, listen, you're very invested, it seems, on making them the innocent, or making excuses for them when you don't need to.
Yeah,
you really don't need to.
They did a thing. They were seen doing a thing. They got caught.
What's even more ironic about that is these are the same people who profess to be super patriotic. So is it so I'm gonna ask you, is it party or is it country for you? Speak up, motherfucker, because I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Is it the party or is it the country?
Right.
Which one are you actually loyal to?
Yeah.
Because I'm only in this conversation because for me, it's a thought experiment.
Right.
But for you, this is something you say
this is your
live,
life.
Eat, breathe. When I see you walking around there all the time with the American flag bandana around your head and you singing "Born in the U.S."
Well, no, because that's now you're calling them stupid.
listen, all I'm saying is when I see it's an apple pie, it's American exceptionalism, it's this, it's that, and the third. You're giving off you're giving patriotism.
Yeah, you're trying to.
You're trying to give hatred. But when I see situations like this take place,
the elephant comes out.
Yeah, because the Capitol building got attacked.
Yeah.
And
it's what happened.
Invaded. That's what happened, B.
Yeah.
And by the way, it wasn't 10 people. It wasn't 20 people. You seen them fucking we watched it real time. And this is the other thing. Glad you brought that up. This is the other thing. Because when a lot of us were saying, yo, this rhetoric ain't cool. Yo, this gonna cause something to happen. And y'all told us it's just words. God
just
damn it.
Words.
Let me I gotta say this one more time. The Constitution is written how? With what? With what, motherfuckers? With what? Words.
Thanks.
The very shit that y'all go to defend and talk about how it made this country so fucking great was written in words. Stop the cap about it, because those words that it's just words thing only works when you want to be insulting and dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
In any other situation that you are personally connected to, words matter.
Yeah. Oh, facts. Without question.
Words matter to you. So
Words are important.
stop the cap. And again, if you are a writer, if you are a songwriter, if you are an actor, if you work in any part of the I can't think of a business industry that doesn't use words. Stop the cap.
Yeah. Well, this story has a happy ending. He was
Good.
fined $100,000. So he was basically forced to apologize and everything. Like, yeah.
The thing about that is, though, how much is this dude worth?
Like, no. Here's the thing. Wait, no. I'm not saying this is actually
hurting him.
Yeah, but
it probably hurt him more to apologize publicly.
Right. That's my
money.
thing. That's my thing.
It probably hurt him more than that.
It's the opposite of saving face. Is what happened for him.
Right.
Knowing
that. Right here, Joe. Right here. What's funny is that red states have the concept of fighting words that excuse people for physically assaulting you, and yet they'll say, just we'll see. Again, it's cap, and y'all got to stop capping. I know you're not.
Never.
But what I'm going to caution you again is the same thing people like me cautioned before this fuck shit happened. All right? If you don't chill, everything that you profess to like and are comfortable with can go away. See, this is the thing I think a lot of Americans, this is what a lot of Americans got fucked up. Motherfucker, you ain't the first empire.
No.
You're not the first empire. And all the rest of them went away too.
You know where the term rise and fall comes from?
Oh my goodness. Mercy. Oh, fuck. You're not the first empire that was the most powerful. This another. You may even be the most powerful one that has ever existed. Matters not. Right. Matters not. Because all of those old previous empires went to the dust bowl of history. They're gone. They're out of here. And a lot of them collapsed on themselves and made themselves weak so that their enemies came in next. And when the barbarians are at the door, I don't want to hear all that. It's just words. I don't want to hear it, right? Like certain shit you're going to have to nip in the bud. But you can do what you want to do.
I mean, sure.
Absolutely. You can do what you want to do.
That's their prerogative.
That's your prerogative. Do what you want to do. But I'm telling you now, every time I turn around and I see some shit going on, or SBJ see some shit going on, or Joe see some shit, I've conversated with Joe see some shit, or a lot of other people who we don't even know, and we calmly go, this won't end well. Yeah. Right? Like, this won't end well. We go, oh, you're being hyperbolic. Oh, okay.
I'm not being emotional when matter of factly, this is not sustainable.
Societies don't run like that. It's not that's it. That's the phrase. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Go into the bathroom after the show. Look in the mirror and tell it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
We traffic narratives, belief systems, intentions, all of that through words. So if you have an abundance of people with ill intent expressing it through words, converting other people, radicalizing other people with this shit, it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. If you have a society of people that cannot agree on what's a fact and what's not a fact, by the way, something else I've been saying since 2010, you have a society of people that cannot agree on what's fact and what's not fact, or how do we even arrive at making something a fact? If everything is just about, if I believe it, it must be true, it's not going to end well. If you're not open to correction, it's not going to end well. Mm-hmm. And we can laugh, we can party, wait for the next Marvel movie to come out and all that shit, but eventually all of that shit will go away. All that shit will go away. And the stuff that y'all point the fingers at them other countries that go through their issues, with their government upheavals and their coups and all that shit, stop thinking that shit can't happen here. That shit can absolutely happen. And you really just saw an example of that's the other thing. just because something failed doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Right.
This the other thing I've seen. Well, they didn't get they still did it.
Like, okay, all right.
You don't see it's a problem. You don't think it's a problem when you got people that amped, ready to do that, even if they failed, even if the election still went on, everything happened the way it was supposed to happen in the government process and all that. The fact that they pulled that bullshit, there's a problem, B.
Clearly.
There's clearly a problem. And we can whistle past the graveyard all we want. But that's all we're doing. All you people that want to minimize, act like it ain't a big deal, and why are they spending so much time on this? Bruh, you know how much time would have been spent on this if this happened to Kim Jong-un?
Actually, not as much.
Right. Right. You know, part of the reason why we're spending this amount of time on it is because it wasn't taken as seriously as it should have been in the beginning. Right. Because you think run up on Putin's Capitol building.
Not gonna happen.
Run up on Putin's Capitol building.
Good luck.
Run up. I dare you.
Yo, wait a minute. Yo, I just realized something. Remember the Area 51 jokes? I don't know. We might have been wrong.
Yo,
we might have been wrong.
We might have been wrong. Maybe they wouldn't have got
clapped. Been wrong. They might have got in.
They might have got a chance to collapse some alien cheeks.
Yo, they might have got in. Because this was the Capitol.
Yes. No, you gotta say it the way Trump said it. The Capitol. Right.
This little dust up is like
this dust up. This. Why? Listen. Why would I fear you when it appears your infrastructure is collapsing all around you?
Yeah.
Why would I fear you when your people have gotten to the point that they coming up trying to slap the shit out of y'all while y'all in there doing work? They busting through windows trying to get at y'all. They coming in there with zip ties to tie y'all up. They got nooses hanging outside of your fucking building. Who are you to fear? And that might be a miscalculation on some countries' part, because the fact of the matter is, but the point is, you shouldn't even put yourself in a position where somebody think they can try you.
That's the thing. It is a miscalculation. It would be a miscalculation on a lot of people's part.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just need the battery in my back.
Facts.
I got a puncher's chance if I get in the fight.
I got a puncher's chance. So
if I'm the level of success that I have will inspire copycats.
And also, I get to determine what I consider success.
Mm-hmm.
I get to determine. So if so say okay. So no, you didn't take your country down, but we blew up a bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't get to blow up a bunch of shit, but we fucked up a bunch of your interests, your financial interests overseas, and you couldn't do nothing to stop that. Oh no, we couldn't do such and such, but we did get to fuck with your internet and fuck with all your security shit and make you look like Boo Boo the Fool in front of the world and erode your credibility globally. But no, keep thinking it's a game. Keep thinking this is a waste of time. Keep thinking it's only just words. I hear you. But you look crazy. If you rap and say it's just words, you look crazy. If you write scripts and say it's just word, you look crazy. If you write contracts for businesses and you say it's just words, you look crazy. If you're a legislator that writes law and say it's just words, you look crazy. You look crazy. Words have power.
Mm-hmm.
They have power.
Yeah. But off of this political mumbo jumbo.
Yes.
So I've been vocal on here about freeing Britney Spears from her conservatorship, right? And the reason was women, particularly Black women, but she's not Black, but still, women particularly should not have to deal with the patriarchy the way that they've been forced to deal with the patriarchy.
Hell no.
It's just this. Come on now, cut it out.
No, man. Stop it.
Wait. She's in another situation where a man in her life has fucked something up for her. She was supposed to get married. I don't know if the wedding went through or not, but her ex-husband stormed the wedding. Her ex-husband stormed
Why?
the wedding.
Why?
Yeah. He got booked and arrested, but for trespassing, vandalism, and 2 batteries.
Right.
Relating to his physical altercation when security swarmed upon him. That's funny. I never realized that. So I never knew that security can sue the person that is attacking. I never knew that was a thing.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
He has 2 battery charges,
right,
from his physical altercation with her security.
Oh my!
I never knew that was a thing.
You know what? It should be. So it is.
Sure, because they're doing their job.
I'm doing my job.
Right.
You ain't supposed to come in here with this bullshit. I shouldn't have had to put my hands on you, and then I got hurt in the process of this shit. Nah, I'm suing your funky black ass. You getting sued.
Yo, this shit was crazy. So he went like this douchebag's name.
How would Thor say this bag of douche?
What's his name? Jason Alexander.
Wow.
That he went live on because that's a different person you're thinking about.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
He went live on Instagram Thursday as he approached the event, telling them that Brittany had invited him and that she was his first and only wife. And he was going to crash the event before some kind of physical struggle.
Oh my.
And then his phone freezed up. Bruh. Somehow he was able to make it inside of her home where he continued to live stream. And then he was eventually restrained outside.
Oh my.
Bruh.
What, bruh? First of all, bruh, like, now this is what I want to know. And I'm being dead ass serious. I know it sounds like I'm not. Does he have mental health issues? Because
I don't know.
Mental health in this country is clearly.
I know the funny thing is he was actually like loud with the Free Britney movement. Like he was absolutely like
yeah, but he could have been. See, this is where it gets funny. Maybe it was self-interest.
No, maybe
it was self-interest.
Absolutely.
Free her
so for me.
Free her for me. Right. Oh, I haven't seen his picture, Discord. I haven't seen his picture. But he says looks like from his Discord said looks like from his picture.
Oh man.
It's a little off. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, yo, she can't.
So he's clearly had head trauma. Wow. I guess the security will do that. You know what I'm saying? Security.
But yeah, she just can't catch a break. I don't.
No, we talked about this a few weeks ago about some of the things she had been doing on social media.
Yeah,
and I to this day I still struggle with the idea. Like I truly still believe that by her being sequestered away for so long,
it had an effect on her.
It had an effect on her, and I feel like he said before the damn, that's crazy. I think it had an effect on her, but and also I think her response to social media was much like an alien would be from the outside looking in, only seeing bit parts and thinking this is how we do it. So it's more, I think, of a commentary on the way everybody else uses social media as opposed to her, because it's almost to her. It's like this how you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it, right? You know, but that's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It is what it is. I think they ended up getting married on a different day, but they ended up making it through. So at least
Wow.
that has a semi-happy ending. All right. Marvel Thunderbolts.
Yes.
They got their director.
Yeah, I heard about this, but I didn't hear about this. I mean, I saw thumbnails of videos and of blogs about, but the reason I didn't read into it is because we already knew they was going to do the Thunderbolts, but now I guess this is official. But we kind of knew because they were setting it up with the Disney
we had
Plus
an idea,
series.
right?
Yeah, there was an idea.
Oh, well, clearly. The top secret Thunderbolts movie is tapped Jake Schreier as director, according to reports. Now, I looked up this guy. I don't believe I know anything.
They still had the wedding. Damn, talk about not letting that bullshit stop you.
Facts.
He still had the wedding.
Jacob Schreier, he is 40. He's a commercial, music video, and film director.
Interesting.
His first, let me see, some of his films. His films that he's directed are Robot and Frank. No idea. Paper Towns. I have heard of that.
I mean, I have too. They're all in the stores, but I don't know.
Shut up. Starring nobody I know. Okay, so let me go ahead and close that.
Yeah.
And Chance the Rapper's Magnificent Coloring World, which I'm guessing is an audio
music video.
Not a music video, a visual album.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming, because it's under the films category.
Yeah.
And then of course Thunderbolts. Music videos. I don't know.
I don't know none of these artists he did.
I mean, I know the artists, but I'm not really familiar with their music. So like Chance the Rapper, Same Drugs, Benny Blanco, Halsey, and Khalid, Eastside. I do know all three of those artists, but I'm not familiar with that song. Let me see. Benny Blanco and Calvin Harris, I Found You. Selena Gomez, Juice WRLD, got Kanye West. He did 2 videos for Kanye. Justin Bieber, Baby Keem. And he has director credits on TV for Alpha House, Shameless, I'm Dying Up Here, Lodge 49, Kidding, Dave, Brand New Cherry Flavor, The Premise, and Minx. So for me, there's not much to go off of.
No.
As far as his history.
Right. Question.
Yeah.
So what do they need to do to make a Thunderbolts movie work?
Okay. See, hold on. That was a part of my question. My big question. That wasn't my big question. I didn't consider that. My big question was, how will they treat William Hurt's character? That's my big question.
I'm thinking what they'll wind up doing is replacing him. And I know a lot of people will say, well, how come they didn't replace? Well, see,
it's not the same thing.
Everything ain't for everybody. Certain people have more of an impact with their role.
Right.
There's a social, cultural impact of role. So that is to be considered. The impact of the person's death. That's also to be considered. So it's not supposed to be a one-to-one with everybody. It just largely depends on that. So they might replace, because I feel like they still need. I want to see Roke, yo. Now it's entirely possible that they can go with a whole different direction. He could be just a different person. Red Hulk could wind up being just a different person. But I do want to see Red Hulk there. And now that
I'm saying Sam Elliott for Thunderbolt,
I'm with that too.
I'm with that too.
Here's the thing.
I don't want it.
It's
not about him.
Already.
It's not about him. It's not about him. It's not about him. I don't want somebody so old doing it.
That's a good point.
I don't want somebody so old doing it because we already have these old people. We already have
good point.
Fucking
Robert Downey Jr. is old,
but he's done though. But Nick Fury, we already got Nick Fury. Yeah. We got the original Ant-Man.
Shit. I'm seeing him and his son in Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas, yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple older people in these roles.
Nice facts.
I prefer, like, Mahershala is not young.
Yeah, but Mahershala is not he ain't nowhere near.
No, he ain't 70.
Nah, baby. Mahershala.
But I'm saying, my point of mentioning Mahershala is there's nothing wrong with a 40-year-old.
No, you got a lot of years to do these movies, and the way they cranking them out too. Right, they cranking them out.
You can put a 40-year-old. Like, yes, I know we want the person to look old, but they make old people look young. I'm pretty sure they can make a young person look old.
And that tech is getting better and better every time they use it.
And particularly if they go the Rock route, Rock ain't gonna look old.
And that's CGI all day, facts. Anyway. So
facts.
I'm curious. The reason I'm asking is not even from casting and all that. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm asking mostly about how they're gonna make it feel, because there's a part of me that says that even though the Thunderbolts have pretty much been both, they started out as villains and heroes, right? But I'm thinking that even if you're giving them the ambiguous anti-hero with a sinister...
we can have a Civil War II where they play their role from Civil War I.
Yeah, they can absolutely do that. But I'm thinking, as far as their particular project, it seems to me how I would go, at least initially, is that even though they're doing some shady, off the books shit, I would give it the same heroic treatment as far as the feel that I gave the Avengers.
Thanks.
And it would be, yes, the shit they doing is better.
Particularly if She-Hulk ends up in it. Yeah. Because here's the thing. This is what I would have. This is why I want the character of Thunderbolt Ross outside of the Rock shit. But I would like it to be a scenario where there's somebody over
them.
Christine.
Yeah.
And she has her own nefarious reasons for putting this together, but the person that she's working for is oblivious to that.
Right.
Which is how you end up with the mix of these characters that are clearly not great with some that are probably more to the good side in the same team.
I kind of think that's what we're going to get, because as much she did not strike me as the one in charge. She struck me as the mover and the shaker.
Yeah.
The character that they give her an assignment.
Right.
And it's up to her to figure out how to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And she has to use any can to get it done.
Right.
She's not always above board. She can be quite an asshat at times. She can go heavy. She can go real heavy and real dark. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But the outcome will be it'll be a nuanced outcome. Yes, the thing they wanted got done.
Yeah.
But the collateral damage was ass.
And
you know what I'm saying?
If they never meet the person in charge, well, not never, but initially don't meet the person in charge,
right?
Then they will initially believe that she's the one that's in charge. Right. So they're going to be taking their orders from her. And then on the top of that, you've had U.S. agent with her the longest. So let me see. I believe I saw a picture somewhere. Okay, so this doesn't really work. Mm-hmm. This picture is of where'd it go?
The antagonist from Wasp and
no, this picture I did see a picture of Ghost. Mm-hmm. I did see a picture of Ghost somewhere, but this picture has Red Hulk, Elektra, and some version of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Deadpool was in it too.
Yep.
Oh, Agent Venom. I think.
But it's red. Oh. It's not white.
So that's the other. Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's black and red, not black and white.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what that particular character is, but I also saw a picture with She-Hulk in it.
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to the story.
Right.
So if we're talking about the characters that are already here, you have Ghost. Didn't Ghost like make a turn towards being good?
Yes, towards the end.
So,
but it was a turn, but it wasn't. I wouldn't even say a full turn. They gave us hints that it could happen. So
right.
They're trying to help her. They're gonna try to help her, right? So I want to just highlight this for a second. Biddy, of course you still cast. Wait, what about Team and Great casting characters? This is my only issue with that. I want it to be good, and while I think that I can do some roles, I'm not sure I can carry a film as one of the titular characters in there and it be good. I want somebody to go in there. If we are fortunate enough to get to the point where they're doing a movie about our characters, I want somebody that can get in there and knock it out the park for all time, so that when people go back and think about that shit, I want them to feel about the same way they felt about Endgame, same way they felt about all that other shit. I don't know if I can deliver that. I'm pretty good with the voice acting, but
this is why a lot of fan casting doesn't work.
Yep.
Because a lot of times people will look at a character and the first and biggest thing they give credence to is they kind of look alike.
Yeah. And it's not always just
it's
that.
More than that. It's more than that. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Like it happens to work like it worked for Nick Fury, obviously, because Sam Jackson.
But it worked for him because they did that shit on purpose.
Right.
They literally drew
the ultimate Nick Fury was based on Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
It worked for Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. But again, they had made the joke years before in the comics, you look like Ryan Reynolds.
And that was because he had an image inducer. So again, he can look like almost anybody. Deadpool can look like almost anybody. Mike, I saw that message. I'm going to holler at you about it later. Speaking of Endgame, I had a thought. Is it time for DC to get on that level and bring Batman Who Laughs?
No,
Mike, I'm gonna tell you why they can't do it. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. They can't handle it because that concept of the dark multiverse is heavy. Mm-hmm. And in order for you to be able to even do a thin version of that, you have to have built
gotta have some
the structure and established already. And they just seem that you can't get it. That's the other thing. I'm glad he brought that up because I've been thinking about this a lot. The reason why a lot of DC stans, notice I'm making the difference between the stan and fan, because I'm a fan of DC, right? The reason why a lot of DC stans are always going to be disappointed with everything that's going to happen in the foreseeable future for a long ass time is because of how in this culture now people are introduced to comic book characters. When I was growing up, we were introduced to them through the books.
Right.
So the writer and the artist, their collaboration had to be dope. And you read so many of these books and these titles, and you follow these long soap opera-like stories that are connected to one another. You build this affinity for these characters, for these situations, their origin, their lore, their outlook, all of that, all through books. Mm-hmm. And DC has written some of the greatest comic book stories in the history of comic books. Without doubt, they've created some of the most iconic characters in the history of comic books, no doubt. The problem is, though, today, these characters are being introduced through TV and film. And if you can't get your film and TV shit up where people fuck with it and are rabid for it, they will undervalue your characters going forward. The reason Marvel can get away with a stinker here or something that's not quite good there or not as good as they're there, because they already established over a decade of, and all of them wasn't super great, but they had enough quality in there, enough to pull at our emotional heartstrings when it comes to these characters that we grew up reading and fell in love with from the books, where now these kids, a lot of them don't read the comic books. They're watching that shit on Disney Plus or they're watching that shit in the movies.
Yeah.
So if DC does not pick up and just have more quality, like they did a lot of shit, shaking shit up at Warner Brothers over this last few months, and I know that's one of the reasons, because there's no way you should have an IP as incredible as what DC has and be putting out this substandard ass shit that don't capture nobody. The marketing is fucked up. All that shit is not good, and they got to figure it out. And it doesn't help the fans and the stands that they don't do that, especially when the stands are willing to accept anything from them. You want to, and then defend it when shit is right in front of your face. Marvel was kicking their ass. We're not gonna play. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna act like they're not. Marvel's kicking their ass, and they're kicking their ass where it matters, in a perception of grabbing new fans to the characters and how they consume it. And most of these people are consuming that shit through TV and film, not the books anymore. And until DC gets that shit to the point where they're at least competing,
right,
going forward, that shit gonna be bad.
Here's the other thing. Marvel fucked the game up. This is what happened. There were two big differences between the comics and the movies. In the olden days, there were two big differences. One, the type of things that you can get away with doing on screen.
Right.
Technology wasn't up to par.
It wasn't up to par, exactly,
to make it so you could do pretty much anything. Now you can do pretty much anything.
Right.
The other biggest thing that changed is, in the books, mantles were mantles.
Right.
In the films, what was happening in the olden days was characters were mantles.
Yes.
What the MCU did was made characters again.
Yes.
So the issue is,
I think they had to, because these are movies.
Absolutely. No, it was a good thing. Yeah, it just fucks it up for everybody else.
It does.
Because with DC, none of their characters are safe from being mantles.
Facts.
Yes, you have your Jason Momoa, you have your Gal Gadot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But literally every other major character has had some type of issue, whether that's in universe, whether that's in real life, whether that's whatever the case, where that character is not going to continue to be the same.
Yeah.
Or there's a high probability. Flash is not going to be Ezra.
Nope.
Anymore.
Ezra is on some bullshit.
Wow. Henry Cavill said that he was done doing Superman.
As much as he loves,
may or may not do it again, because
I'm mad at that. I'm mad at that. But go ahead.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance with a quality script, and he didn't get a chance.
That's a fact. Since this whole DCEU thing started, we've had Ben Affleck, we've had Robert Pattinson, and we're still talking about Michael Keaton. They don't allow their characters to be characters. They still have the characters as mantles thing from way back. Even though effectively they started the change for characters being characters. That Batman trilogy, that Nolan trilogy.
Yeah, amazing.
That was the combination of longest and most successful that one of these characters has been the same person.
Yeah.
And then the MCU was like,
I would say with the exception maybe is Christopher Reeve in the 70s as a Superman. Those movies,
absolutely.
They went.
Absolutely true. Unfortunately, things happened with him personally. That kind of stopped him from being So all right, so Joe, the mantle so the mantle is Batman.
Yeah.
Batman is the mantle. Bruce Wayne is the character.
Right.
So it's this argument that about race swapping and gender swapping, right? I look at it differently than a lot of people. I'm not I don't want any character to be race or gender swapped ever. I don't want that. I don't care about whatever equality thing you're trying to representation. Make a new character or build up a character that exists in that demographic already. I don't need to have a black Superman that is a Clark Kent. I don't need that. Still exists.
Yeah, but that's not. That's not a quality replacement.
No. You get the point that I'm making.
Yes.
I'm not saying.
My only caveat to that is we are literally neck deep in multiverse stories.
Absolutely.
So if somebody comes out in this universe, Clark Kent had to be a black guy. like right. I don't know. Like, see, we're knee deep in this shit now.
Here's my thing. I still don't care. I don't. That has no effect for me because again, I am about like this isn't me saying I'm not. I'm still about the representation. I'm still about the diversity. So we're making this new character when there's already a character. People talking about the Black Superman movie. Why can't we get a Static Shock movie?
Yeah, I feel you.
There's already a character that's established, has a fan base, and was successful on TV.
I feel you.
Why can't we do a Static Shock movie instead of trying to make up this Black Superman movie that's not a character that already exists?
Right.
We already have the character. There's no reason like we can just expand on what we have already. So it's like, and that's
true.
That's part of my point, Cindy. I'm so glad you said that because when you have, yes, Joe, the difference between Peter Parker and Miles Morales, the mantle is still Spider-Man. Yes, absolutely.
Also, and they're different people.
They're different characters. Yeah, they're different people completely. But the mantle is Spider-Man. There was I saw a joke. I'm gonna get back to Cindy comment, but I saw a joke on Facebook. It was from, I can't remember which cartoon it was, but Miles and Peter were on a rooftop. I think Peter had his mask off. Miles didn't. Miles was in full suit.
Right.
And I think Peter had just met him. So he's like, hey, calm down. I understand. You're a Peter Parker too.
Like, no.
And Miles was like, no.
No, Peter Parker in my world died.
Yeah, he was like, you're and he was like, I'm what? And he was like, the caption was like, we all know what Peter really wanted to say because Miles took his mask off, and it was the joke being Peter was like, you're black. but Cindy, yes, the problem is while we fans will be all about new characters, casuals don't like to give them a chance from what I've seen. That is my facts. That's how I like to deal with problems. I like to deal with problems by looking at what's actually going on and what's likely to work. Not what's ideal, not what should work,
right?
What is likely to work given the parameters that we have.
Right.
In my opinion, it is much easier for a character that already exists to be elevated than a new character to be made, or for a current character to have some radical transformation to be accepted by the masses. And on top of that, I'm a stickler. If you're going to do it, do it. So if we going to do a multiversal version of Clark Kent where he's black, he has to actually be black.
Yeah, facts.
I don't want
facts, big.
Yeah, I don't want him to be the same exact Clark Kent. His skin's just darker.
Like,
yeah, no.
The conditions need to be different all the way around. And the other thing too,
I don't want it either, Joe. 007 is a mantle, James Bond is a character. So a black 007.
Have you ever read those books?
No.
I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure
that's how it is for the movies, at least.
I know. I'm just saying, and I'm not sure if that's the same way in the source material. If James Bond,
I mean, that's probably true.
Yeah, like it's just a code.
But you know how they do with source material when
they they flip that shit up. But the other thing is, either way, you gotta be careful because the idea sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
Black Panther is an example of this. The excuses that were given for why you can't just have mostly black cast is that because it doesn't work. They won't accept it. Right. They've been saying this for years. People overseas won't accept it.
Well, the funny part about that, I think that was an anomaly. And the reason I think that was an anomaly wasn't because of anything that came before it. It was because of the fact that China made Marvel change the poster for Black Panther. The original poster where his mask was off, they rejected outright.
Right.
He had to be in full suit.
But this is the thing that's crazy about it. So let's say, that's probably what the reason why it was, but it got them in the theaters to watch it. So to me, the creativity in marketing,
right, that matters.
Instead of you saying we just can't do it. Yeah. Like we can't do it because they won't accept it. Well, somebody found out a way.
No, it can be done.
It can be done, but if it's not a priority to you to do,
right?
This is the other thing.
It has to be done right.
People try to claim that they shouldn't force certain things on a society that they say doesn't want it. I gotta tell you guys, I know you're comfortable. As you just born after a certain time, I know you're comfortable with black people on TV. There was a time when there were no black people on TV, or very little. And the places where they were at, they had the roles were minimal and quite frankly disrespectful. They forced that on a society.
Hold on real quick. Joe said Black Panther didn't do as well outside of U.S. The grosses for Black Panther, 52% of that 1.3 billion came from domestic, 48 came from international. It's not that big a difference.
Yeah, it's not. That's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like certain things you just have to people have to get acclimated to. So now in current time, I would say probably for the last 5, 6, maybe even 10 years, the complaint you've been hearing is, why everybody gay on TV? Why everybody gay in the movies?
Oh my God.
And I'll be hearing that from black people.
It annoys me so much.
Who obviously are unaware of the fact
gay people
that it was a time we wasn't on TV, B.
Right. Gay and people exist just like black people exist.
Yeah.
Just like women exist.
Right.
Just like stop that shit. I had this argument with a gay man.
I'm not surprised.
I had this argument with a gay man.
I'm not surprised.
Why they gotta put gay people in everything? Blah blah blah. Sir, you're joking, right? No, I'm serious. They don't. I'm like, all right. Question: think about it like this. If they would be to do the story of anybody in your life, there would be a gay person in it. Any person. So think about all the people you know and spend any time around. If they did the story of any of their lives,
right,
there would be a gay person in it.
Right.
At least one.
Right. At least one.
Let's get it. Let's cut that dumb shit out. Like,
well, that's to see again. This is what I mean. Like, you can't have it both ways. If you are benefiting from the perception and the inclusion and the acceptance of your demographic, by a tactic that happened because of a tactic they use that's not different than this, to hear you now bitch, whine, and complain about them other folks means one of two things. Either your timeline is so pitifully short that you wasn't there for the fact that there was hardly any black people on TV, or two, you're uneducated. I'm gonna say three now. You were just uneducated. You didn't know that there was a time when there was no black people on TV.
Sure.
Or three, your issue is not that it's too many of them. Your issue is that it's any of them.
Yeah.
Because you have a larger issue.
Cindy brings up a point. She says when really they should just complain that they are handling completely ham-fisted and the acting sucks.
Acting sucks.
See, so I brought that up in the video about the deeper dive video about Doctor Strange.
Right.
Because the reviewer, the critic, Dan Murrow, made a comment that Marvel was doing too much with America Chavez as far as representation for LGBT plus people is concerned. And I'm like, yo, they literally showed one like 30-second scene of her mothers together, and she had a pride pin, a small pride pin on her jacket, and the words "love is love," but in Spanish. So if you don't speak Spanish, you wouldn't have known.
But don't you see, SBJ? I am glad when these people reveal themselves,
bruh,
because that's what you're doing.
I'm like, what is going?
It was so,
this
bro. I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't even notice the pride. I didn't notice the pride pin. I didn't. All I noticed was her parents were. That's it. The only reason
I noticed the pride pin was because this channel that I watch, I was watching things about the movie leading up to the movie.
Right.
That's the only reason I noticed the pride, because he does trailer breakdowns.
Right.
That's the only reason I ever noticed the pride pin.
I didn't even notice.
Watching the movie, I didn't notice the phrase. I speak a little bit of Spanish. I didn't notice the words on her jacket. And here's the thing. Nobody mentioned the pen in the movie. Nobody mentioned the phrase in the movie.
Right. They never said that
anything about her mothers.
They didn't even say she was gay.
They never said she was gay. There's no proof that the MCU version of America Chavez is LGBTQ.
No, they haven't even referenced that. She was running. She was running for her motherfucking life.
Right.
Most of the movie from somebody that does this.
Facts. There's no reference to her being gay.
No reference at all.
No reference at all.
So guess what? You're revealing yourself. Remember we said earlier. Remember we said earlier a few episodes ago, right? That sometimes people have this issue that they want to talk about, and they try to shoehorn it into the conversation that you have here, because they're not really interested in that conversation. They really want to talk about how much they don't like gay people. Yo, that's what that is, B. That's what that is.
In the movie, we're going to get into a slight light spoilers. I'm not talking about endings or anything for the movie Multiverse of Madness. If when they stood in front of those damn things and saw those memories and America, her scene with her seeing the bee and being scared and opening the goddamn portal and her mother's being, if Doctor Strange after that scene would have been like, you had two mothers?
Yeah.
Your mothers were gay?
Yeah.
And that led to a conversation. That would have been ham-fisted.
Right.
Sure. If when America, Doctor Strange, and Wong were sitting in that diner and they were talking about the stuff that happened with No Way Home, and she and she had got up to go to the bathroom and came back, and one of them was like, "Amor es amor."
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right.
That would have been ham-fisted.
Because there's no reason for that.
No one said it. No one mentioned it at all.
No one. I wanna circle to something because this is exactly it. China is culturally racist, but as fuck, but so is the US. They will find a way to market to a population that is globally accepted to a certain degree. Let me tell you something, man. This is the other thing. This is why I said earlier, the idea of we won't do it at all, as opposed to we just got to figure out a way to do it, is very curious. In a country that professes to be can do, can do.
China didn't air. Was it Multiverse of Madness? I can't remember. One of the movies, let me see. It might have been Multiverse of Madness.
I think it was Multiverse of Madness.
Because of the scene.
Yeah, because of the thing.
The scene with the two mothers.
Yep, that's what it was.
Mind you, again, the scene was 30 seconds. I don't believe they kissed.
Nope. They might have hugged.
They might have been holding.
They might have held hands and some shit like that.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
This is the type of shit I'm talking about. Like
what? the fact of the matter, and that's that in itself is another reason why there will be people that will say, if we do it a little, they're gonna bitch.
Right.
If we do it a lot,
right,
they're gonna bitch.
So we might as well do it.
So we might as well do how we going to do it, because either way they're going to bitch.
Back to Cindy's point. I have absolutely seen instances of forced representation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be clear, I don't care. Like, honestly, I don't care if you have to go out of your, if you feel like you have to go out of your way to make a point that someone is this or someone is that, I personally don't care. Fine. Because I'm only judging your actions based on what I know that you've been through.
Right.
So,
and also there's another side to that too. It can be perceived as disrespectful to take an image of a demographic group, shoehorn them in there, and not give them anything good.
Absolutely.
To make to like the scene was trash,
right?
Because part of the reason that we get connected to these movies and these characters and all this shit is because somebody did some good shit with this character, and we not only resonate with the character looking like us, but it's also some good shit. This was badass. I'm fucking with this. Yeah. But if you just put it in there and it's not any good, the dialogue is garbage. The scene didn't make too much sense. The scene was superfluous. You didn't really need to have in there. You erode the credibility the character could have if you had just taken the time to actually present them correctly. This is, to me, not that far off from back in the day when you only saw us as janitors on that motherfucker. But I was on that, like, yo, find something from. Don't just say you got them in there just to have them in there. Yo, give this the same care you gave the rest of these characters in this movie, or at least in the slot this character's supposed to fit. This character may not be a main character, but that's no excuse for you ham-fistedly putting the shit in and then giving them shitty dialogue and a shitty cinematography and all that other shit. No
that's only for the not so well-meaning people. Yes. But this is why representation extends to beyond in front of the screen, because then you end up with Mary Sue's and magical Negroes.
Right.
That's not what we want.
Here's another side to that too. The people that, and we have to factor in all of these things. So the people that they hire to go and do this shit, I'm not going to be mad at them. You know why? Because if there's not a certain amount of roles that's even available for these motherfuckers to get, they try to put food on their table too, right? So they're going to say, yo, this was, why y'all mad at me? It was a job. I went and got a paycheck.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There are some instances.
Oh no, I know what you're about to say.
I wish you wouldn't.
No amount of money should have allowed you to. You should have like, yo, this.
Yeah, they
hurt me,
right,
and my folks. If I go up here and do this, and it's probably gonna hurt my career, because later down the line, people gonna remember me for this bullshit role that
has to have a point.
Has us looking crazy out here.
It has to have a point. The more, for instance, Samuel,
the GOAT,
Steven in Django.
Woo!
It made sense.
Woohoo!
Yo,
not only did it make sense, it was not an endorsement of that sort of character
at all.
No.
That was clear. It was clear that person was the villain, but it was also clear that in a way that person was kind of a mastermind. Like you can still be a villain, but shown to be mentally superior to everybody else.
Yeah, because he was clearly smarter than everybody else at that ranch show. He was clearly smarter than that. Like, yo, and this is the thing. This is what I mean by being creative with shit. Like, you don't have to just give us any. Don't think you can give us slop and say, "Look, I did it. I did it.
Fuck you.
I did it. Here, what do you want? You're in there. Don't you see?
No, that's not.
You're right there mopping the floor as the hero saved the day.
Right.
You were there. That scene in the first Superman movie that I hated as a kid, I hated it, was when the first time Clark Kent goes into and changes. He goes through the little revolving door and changes because he tries to go through the phone booth, but it was a short phone booth. It was one of the ones that was a half booth like this. And he goes, oh, no, that ain't gonna work. And he goes to the elevator. When he comes through the elevator door, there's a black pimp and his employees standing there saying, that's some badass rags you got on there. But I hated it as a kid. Like, so we in here, but we this. We a pimp. That's what I mean by don't give a slop. We gonna be in there. Let's be in there. He could have been a cop. How come he wasn't a cop? Or something. No, he had to be a pimp. We see that dumbass shit. We see what you're doing. So also you can say is, what's the problem? We hired a black guy. You think we stupid? you think we stupid? You think we stupid?
Yes, that's the problem. That's the exact problem. You think that we're dumb.
Yo, I was a kid turned off like, really? like, really? Really? These some badass rags you got on, man. Subliminal. Right, Paul. Right. Like, come on, man. Come on.
I just want to say that since we last said something, the Kickstarter has like $300 more.
I know. I didn't want to say it because we was in the middle of we was in the middle of the show and shit.
Six more backers. No, 4 more backers.
Four more backers. Yeah, like I didn't want to say that because you was in the middle of the story, and I didn't want to keep interrupting the story.
No, I mean it is what it is. I mean, listen. It is what it is.
Yeah,
the people have expressed that they want the things.
Facts. So I mean, it is. I'm just gonna show y'all. This is where.
Just
put this out there real fast. You understand? So, what was you talking about?
157%. Normally, you don't. 157%. Percentage usually go up to 100.
Shit.
Let me see. Okay, so this other thing. Potential dumbass of the day. I think that's how I'm going to handle this from now on. It's not going to be every week. I'm going to do potential, and I'm gonna put the question out.
Right.
I'm gonna put the question out. All right.
Yo, hold up. Before we listen, pans camera to prison full of black people. Cut to the janitor who was like, that's why I kept my head on straight and stayed on a clear path. Cut to Peter and Auntie and them eating brunch. Yo, listen.
All facts though.
Facts. You
all
said.
Right.
Oh,
so,
damn. Appreciate you, Biddy.
Can't read, for those who can't read what's on the screen.
What's on the screen?
Because you're just listening or because it's too small for you. It's the comment that she's about to reply to is a comment that says intentional weight loss is fat phobic.
No, stop. We're not doing that. Why are we
doing we are. Listen.
Why are we doing
No, fuck that.
Why are we doing that?
All right. So let's go.
So I figured that this question would probably come up sometime soon just because of the video and the topics that I cover. But let's break this one down. So intentional weight loss. So you purposely saying, I want to lose 20 pounds is fat phobic. And you might be like, what? Oh my goodness. I'm not trying to be fat phobic, but you are. You're being fat phobic to yourself. Why do you want to lose 20 pounds? It's probably to fit into something smaller. It's probably so people treat you better. It's probably for all the reasons that fat folks are shamed simply for being fat. So by continuing to perpetuate that, right, seeking intentional weight loss, we are contributing to our fat phobic society. So that's why intentional weight loss is fat phobic. So
Yo, come back, Tim.
Yo, my doctor told me, my previous doctor told me, you should probably lose 20 pounds. Because it's something about the 20 pounds, that loss, it really improves the health of a lot of people. For some reason, something about that number, the 20-pound number, it improves the weight. They have more energy, this, that, and that. And it's funny because I gotta listen to this dumbass on here.
Wait,
Yo,
wait. Here's the thing. This is a therapist.
no, B, we not doing that.
She's a therapist.
No.
Master's degree and all.
Let me tell y'all something. Currently, as you are watching this show, I am 243 pounds right now. I would love to lose at least 15. At least 15. So I guess I must be a fat phobic motherfucker. Nigga, this ain't the same as saying I'm too dark skinned. I want to get lighter. Because now we got some issues that might need to be discussed. This is a health issue. And yes, we know that all people that are heavy are not necessarily unhealthy. There's plenty of rail thin motherfuckers that's unhealthy as shit with other things. But you're not going to ignore the reality of the data that says that obesity, the trends is towards diabetes, hypertension, and like Joe just said, thickening of the heart muscle. Nigga, this is a thing. This is a thing. Fuck out of here with all that wishy-washy ass dumbass shit you over there saying, Miss Therapist. Really? You need to sit on the couch. They need to put you on the couch now. Why would you? People out here trying to save their lives. My daughter every morning, you know what my daughter does every morning? Exercises. She hasn't always done that, but she started doing it. You know what she told me? She said, because it's getting crazy out here, and I might need to run. Hey, people out here trying to save their lives, B. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. I mean, you said everything I was going to say.
The fuck is wrong with her? The fuck is wrong with her?
Yo, I saw this a while ago, right?
She got a degree from debating IT shows.
Come on, man. I saw this a while ago, and I happened to stumble across it again. I stumbled across it on TikTok, and I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, before I listened to it, when I first saw it and saw that she was replying to that comment,
you thought that she was going to smash it because it's absurd.
I thought either that she was going to smash it, or that I got you, Joe. I thought either she was going to like shoot it down outright, or that she would have a more compelling argument than this.
Yeah.
One of the two.
No. Listen, that's one thing we've all seen and observed. They rarely have good arguments. They rarely have good arguments. But what they do have is an abundance of confidence.
Facts.
An abundance of confidence.
Like, I don't. Here's the thing. And somebody says, where is it? I think, no, not that one. I think there's a gross misunderstanding of the suffix phobic in the lexicon of today's language, and it shows. So, don't count this as fact. This is my opinion. When we're talking about a phobia in the way that we're talking about society, right? So, because there's the difference between arachnophobia and homophobia. Like, I used to get into it, like heavy arguments with my cousin, because every time I used to call him homophobic. I'm not scared of them. Dumbass, that's not what I'm saying.
No.
Clearly, I know that you're not afraid of a gay person.
No.
So,
because it's not just fear, y'all. It's also aversion.
Right.
Like it ain't just fear.
So, as far as the social phobias, So homophobia, transphobia, and where we're talking about bigotry.
Afrophobia.
I mean, hey, no. See, here's the thing. I'm not upset with the concept of fat phobia.
Mm-hmm.
The concept itself. No, I'm not.
No. Listen, there's validity.
Right.
There's validity there. We see it like in society in general.
It's basically we're reverse. We're saying the reverse of like. The reverse would be like in shape privilege, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a fact.
It's a real thing. Like that's
the thing.
We're not gonna act like that's not a thing.
That's a thing, B.
There are people that have these same feelings that they have, or a lesser degree of the feelings that they have for gay people, black people, women.
And they have about
for people that are fat. Like we are not going to dismiss that. We're not going to act like
I had a homeboy that was like that, and I used to get in his ass all the time. And now that's why now I step on him every time, even though he ain't talking about it, because now he's overweight. And I'm like, remember the shit you used to say to motherfuckers?
Right. All facts. All right. So I just wish there was a different term.
Me too.
Because again, it is not the same. What the people who peddle in bigotry,
yes, they'll latch on to it. B. Yo, we talked. Remember we talked about this before too. I don't know if we talked about it on the show. The marketing and the terms that you use. There's marketing and everything. The marketing and the terms that you use. You like certain conversations. I approach a certain type of way because what I'm trying to do is leave very little space for the people that aren't operating in good faith to take something, run with it, and then use it as a distraction to the overall point.
Right.
A lot of y'all don't seem to. Y'all don't factor that in. So a lot of times I see the point you're attempting to make, but I also see how you really harmed the cause because these disingenuous people have now been given something to take and use and run with it to dismiss the entire thing. Now, to be clear, a lot of these motherfuckers are going to do that anyway, but they look a lot sillier when you don't give them shit. Like when you don't give them shit, like it exposes it more because they can't hide behind the poor marketing of your terms. Now we looking at you and we know why you're objecting. We see you, but now if they can object off of a term and say, well, this term means nah, B, I'm not giving you that. Tell us how you really feel about them.
Right.
People. Tell us how you really feel about them people. Don't hide behind that.
The buzzword takes off.
The buzzword
is king. People hear the buzzword, they latch onto the buzzword, whether it's a positive or a negative way.
Right.
No, let's talk about what it actually is. What's the actual root of this? What's actually going? Like, what are you saying to me? Like, all right. So for instance, you having an issue with a black person for them being black is not something that affects you specifically. Right. So me just being black, we're not talking about how the world may treat me. We're not talking about any disadvantages I may have in society. No, we're talking about just one-to-one, person-to-person, me being black does not affect you in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
If I was gay, again, we're not talking about society. We're not talking about advantages, disadvantages. No, you and I, one-to-one, person-to-person, if I was gay, would not affect you at all unless I made some untoward advance towards you.
Right.
There are things, fat phobia on the spectrum is on the spectrum towards those things. It doesn't reach those things.
Right.
It's not right there with those things.
Right.
No, it's here.
Right.
Those things are here. For several reasons that's not necessary to get into, but yeah. So when you say that Now I have watched a different video of hers. Back when
where she made sense,
where she made more sense.
Okay.
There are things with it that go along with it, as far as fat phobia, basically. But the things that made sense weren't about this point. Like she tried to frame it as if it was about this point,
but it really wasn't.
It was really about the fact that fat phobia is a real thing.
Yeah,
like, that's really what those points were. It was like things like doctors throwing everything into the group of lose weight. All right, sure. Yes, there is a lose weight thing that absolutely has the potential to help you with your health. The thing is, there are a lot of things that aren't made for or aren't studied for people that are of a certain weight, where the discrimination is. It's just like with Black people. There are a lot of things that aren't studied for or made for dealing with the whole BMI system. It's not for Black people.
Yeah,
it's just not.
Bro, I had a my cardiologist is Asian, and she was saying the same thing. She said a lot of some of the medications that they have for hypertension and stuff like that, some of that stuff does not work as well on Black and Asians. Like we said, we have some of the same stuff, reasons why this particular medicine does not work on us as well. We share. So a lot of times doctors don't take that into consideration. They have a list of blood pressure medicines and they say, oh, you got hypertension? Here, take this. See what this do. Take this. See what that do. And they're saying see what it do, not because they don't know roundabout what it does, but they trying to figure out what's your dosage.
Yeah.
The dosage that works for you. In order for you to do that, you got to take some, see what the results is to see what happens. But there are certain medications that do not work as well for Blacks and Asians as they do for white folks. And I did not know that about blood pressure medicine. I knew it about other things, but not blood pressure medicine until my Asian cardiologist told me that.
Facts. It's one of the reasons why anytime I get a new doctor, I specifically I do not want a white doctor. It doesn't make sense for me to have a white doctor. I am not a white person. The whole system. What happens is in any discipline, there are specialties, right? There are certain things that you only find out you find out the same way. It's just that on the institutional level, this particular specialty isn't the focus. It doesn't have
it's not the focus, and it's not as prevalent, right? So classic example, yes, sure. You break your arm, you break your leg, a white doctor can fix that shit the same way anybody else. But when it comes to certain things about body chemistry, the differences that we do have, even though they're minuscule in comparison to the things that we have that are the same, there are things that are different. And if you're taught in the system a certain type of way not to regard those things, some don't even realize that that's a thing, right? Then you're not serving me as a patient. And I found it's funny. The best care that I've gotten with a primary caregiver has been with people of color, because they have an understanding that was prioritized in their head in their studies.
Palm must be stopped.
Yo, Palm is garbage, y'all.
He
is absolutely garbage.
But yeah, so like, does she deserve dumbass of the week though?
Let's think about that. Dumbass.
I mean, it is.
Did you see anybody else dumber? Because that's the thing. Even as the watcher, you know how much dumb shit gets by you.
No, that's a fact. Because it just
so. If this is the dumb shit that you saw this week, then she's the dumbass of the week. I'm pretty sure you ain't see half the dumb shit I hadn't seen. We literally just talked about that. You know what I'm saying? I want to swing around because something that's connected to this is the labeling thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's the flex that most people think it is.
Mm.
When they say, well, I don't want to be labeled by, I don't want any labels on me.
Mm-hmm.
I think to myself, do you realize even if you were invisible, your label would be that you're invisible? Like, typically they say that when it comes to ethnicity and things that people are uncomfortable about. See, I'm not uncomfortable about my ethnicity or anybody else's. I'm not uncomfortable about it. I'm a very proud Pan-African.
Facts.
However, they don't have that same energy when it comes to being called an American. That's still a label.
Yeah,
I'm not
really as fond of that label.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously speaking, it's certain labels you don't want. Sure. Like, I don't want the label of criminal.
I don't want the label of American.
I know I don't. I really don't.
Yeah,
y'all can have that. That's cool.
Not a fan.
That. I mean, unless we talking continent that I was born
Sure.
in.
I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was missed.
Yeah,
yes, because that's the other thing they do over here too. African Americans don't just exist in the United States. Down in South Africa, they're African Americans.
Yeah, they would technically be South
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're just not from the United States, but that's South America. They're African descent. They're African Americans too.
Yeah, Canadians.
Yeah. But that thing about the labels and that and like, yo, this is how we talk. Napalm, you are. I don't like calling Napalm a monkey because I feel like it's inaccurate. He's more of an ape. Georilla.
Okay.
If you will.
Right.
I don't know if that really works. Baboon, even.
Oh, okay.
You know
I understand the point you're making.
He's more in that family. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But no, like, I think she's the dumbass of your week, yo, because you saw what you saw.
Yeah.
You saw what you saw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So, here's another thing. Nick Cannon, right?
He was recently on the Joe Budden show.
Oh, he was?
I didn't watch it. Because I knew he was gonna say something dumb, and I can't. I knew he was gonna say something dumb.
Let me just.
And I knew Joe, Ice, and Ish weren't gonna necessarily check him.
Well, nah, come on now.
So, like, I need to say something dumb.
Nick Cannon's celebrity journey took a turn after his son Zen died.
I'm laughing at Agua talking about the Segway. So anyway, Nick Cannon.
Palm, you must be stopped. Nick Cannon's celibacy journey took a turn after his son Zen died in December. I got depressed with the loss of my son. And the thing is, everybody saw I was so down. So everybody was like, let's just give him a little vagina.
See, I knew
it. And that's going to cure it all.
I knew it.
I fell victim to it because I was in a weak state. The All That alum admitted that he started fucking like crazy right before Christmas, despite his intentions to abstain from sex through the top of the year. Cannon, who began pursuing celibacy in October 2021, said, I was probably celibate for a month and a half strong. I was trying to do it. I was dealing with a lot. In addition to Zen, the former Nickelodeon star is father of twins, Moroccan and Monroe, 11, with ex-wife Mariah Carey, son Golden, and daughter Powerful with Brittany Bell, and twin sons Zion and Zillion. Cannon's timeline led podcast host Angela Yee to predict that he will welcome babies in September and October of this year. The actor is currently expecting baby number 8 with his first model. I don't know her name.
Okay, so one thing. First of all, you know, if we didn't cover it before, condolences.
Facts. We spoke on it. I was just
making sure. But come on, Nick. Come on.
Oh no, he has never said it's time to get a vasectomy. Yeah, he's expecting baby number 8, and then his one of his baby mothers reveals that she has another baby on the way, but has yet to share who the father is. When asked Tuesday whether he's expecting more than just the one confirmed baby, he said he did not confirm or deny paternity of the other baby.
Mm-hmm.
He said, let's just put it this way, the stork is on the way. If you thought it was a lot of kids last year, and then he stopped saying things. He said, I ain't looking to populate the earth completely.
The earth is already, see this what I was talking about.
Okay, stop it.
I knew it. The earth is already populated, B.
All right.
It's 7.5 billion people.
That was a consultation. Oh, he wasn't about to actually do it.
He recently said it in the interview.
He went to a vasectomy consultation.
Oh, let me tell you something, B. This is why when I saw the thumbnail of the Joe Budden show and I saw Nick sitting in the seat there, I was like,
now I don't know what he said on there, but
I don't either. Purposely.
Yeah.
Purposely.
Here's the thing, right? At some point,
napalm his ass.
Well, sure. At some point, I feel like this is damaging. Like all the money in the world doesn't. All the money in the world doesn't create unbroken homes. Like
no.
Like
in fact, they define broken homes in a way that I think is not conducive to the reality of what happens in the world.
Word.
Because a lot of times when they define that, a mother and father had a divorce. B, it's other ways for a home to be broken.
Yeah.
There's other ways for homes to be broken.
Right. Well-funded broken homes.
Facts.
Here's the thing. I pay attention. I'm not the biggest Nick Cannon fan, but I've heard him speak.
Yeah,
and he's talked about how little time, like how crazy his schedule is. He's spoken about. So we talked about earlier about not knowing these people, right?
Right.
Here's the thing. I can only go off of what you tell me.
Yeah, facts.
We're not talking about what's reported now. We're talking about what came out of your mouth.
Facts.
You cannot, there is no physical way because there are only 24 hours in the day.
Facts.
To be as busy as you say you are and breaking down the schedule the way that you say,
mm-hmm.
unless you capping to make yourself seem more busy than you are.
Right.
Which I would not doubt because of how many jobs this motherfucker has.
But also, I wouldn't doubt him capping either because in when it comes to celebrity and entertainment, they typically exaggerate certain aspects of their life, because it can run up the bill that they ask.
That's absolutely true. But here's the thing: like I'm not discounting that at all because clearly that's a thing. But
we know Nick has a lot.
We know how many jobs. Yeah, we know this nigga got jobs on jobs, right? So you cannot tell me you have time to be with all 8.
He doesn't.
Plus the 2 that's one in the possible.
He
that's coming. There's no way like they'll
doesn't.
be taken care of financially. Yes, we understand that. That's
doesn't.
not the argument that I'm making.
He doesn't, because money is not. See,
right?
Again, Bill Cosby, America's Dad, had a daughter who was on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just the money,
right?
It ain't just the money. It ain't just the money, folks. And I think I watched I don't know how many of you are familiar with dude, the comedian Country Wayne. But I watch his shows every day, his little YouTube, and he used to do it on Instagram all the time. He does on YouTube and these little skits every day. And it's like he has a connected universe of skits, like the MCU, right? Ongoing stories and shit. And there's one thing in there that's very clear. you have all the money in the world, and you see that's some of the themes of some of those little skits. You got all the money in the world. If you ain't there, how much fathering are you actually doing?
Facts.
How much mothering are you actually doing? Now, I'm not talking about in the case of people who have no choice because they're in a spot where they have to work. My mom's was in that spot. My mom had to go out there, and she worked and as a nursing assistant. She did that shit. The schedule was crazy, right? So a lot of the stuff me and my brother got into, it was able to happen because Mars wasn't dead because she had to work. And that, by the way, was us being assholes too, just so you know. Oh, mom not here. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was us being assholes, right? But I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about those who are financially in a good place, but you're still workaholics. And you still feel like I need to be doing this, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that. Some of that is pathological, I would argue.
Absolutely.
Like, because once you at a certain point where you are financially set kind of for the rest of your goddamn life, unless you have expenses because of poor financial dealings with your life, where you must maintain this certain amount of money coming in because you spend so fucking much for the upkeep, that's something different. But if you, some of this the pathological need, I must make my name bigger, I must have more influence, my name must hold more weight than it does now, and you're already set for life and you have these kids, if you're not around, you're not really raising them for real. You just paying for them to eat, have clothes, and a roof over their head, and medical care and all that good shit, which is necessary, but you're not really getting the benefit of raising them. You know, which, you know, depending on the person, that might be a good idea. Because some of y'all,
you stupid.
I'm just saying.
But realistically, it would be one thing if you had one baby mother or maybe two baby mothers. No, you got several of them out here, and that's the issue. Because, like, you could have been the biggest deadbeat in the world financially, right? Mariah Carey is going to be able to afford to take care of her two children.
Right.
Like, we don't have to, like,
right.
Clearly,
facts.
Those two, the twins will be fine.
Facts. They're good.
As far as financially.
They're good.
But their father has to be around.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been a Mariah Carey fan. But when they got married and had babies, I was like, good for them. Married. He's going to have a chance to be in the kids' lives on some significant scale. And then they got divorced.
Yeah, no, that's
like,
not.
God damn it, they just had. God damn it, they just had twins. Like the fuck.
Can we answer this question real fast?
Because it's a hilarious show that.
Well, yes, that
love,
but also,
and he's a shrewd businessman.
And people are goofy. Listen,
especially
people go through the goofy stage, right? There's a lot of kids that love this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that show's been around so long that it's been several waves of young kids that some are now adult, going to school, but everybody goes through that goofy stage. And if you up there doing some goofy, polished shit, right? There's an audience for it, and it will always be an audience for it. There will always be an audience for that goofy shit as long as it's polished. You polish that goofy shit up?
Yeah.
People gonna pay for this shit. They just are.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the new.
I don't either. That's the first. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Like
that's a great thing.
Is that what's happening? Oh, of course, you would say that.
You might think that.
You might have transitioned out of that shit. Like real talk. Some of us do mature out of certain content, but there's still another wave behind us. There's a whole another wave behind us.
Here's the thing. I don't know if this is a hot take or not. you can't make the argument that something that isn't serialized is stale.
Yes, you can.
No, I refuse.
There are other reasons.
You can
why
say a
stuff
premise.
stays
You
on.
can say a premise might be stale, but the show itself, since it's not serialized, and there are people like
You know, there are other reasons why stuff stays on TV other than the fact that it's popular.
absolutely.
There's other reasons than that. So,
But what I'm saying specifically with Wildin' Out, the whole way that you get on Wildin' Out is from already having a following.
No, that's facts. But here's the thing. This is the nuance about that, and about all these type of endeavors. You can have a huge following, and that's great. They might like you for certain things. They might not like you for. I hate when he do that. I hate when she do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's entirely possible. Listen, like we already discussed, there's always going to be an audience for that shit.
Yeah,
there's always going to be an audience for that shit. But don't. That's not the only reason why some things stay on TV way too long or stay in way too long. Sometimes stuff does get a classic example. Fairly recently, what was that fucking show that they said should have been canceled a lot? Oh, what's that? Flash.
Yeah,
Flash
but
got stale, and it was still on.
Stop. I think you missed my point. This is a variety. It's like saying, I'm talking about, Paul mentioned The Simpsons, you mentioned The Flash. These are shows that have continuity, that have storylines. That's what I'm not talking about that.
I'm talking about TV shows.
No, I'm talking about shows that are devoid of those things, that do not have those things that matter to their existence. I don't know if you can use the word stale. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if there's nothing with continuity that matters. If there's not a storyline that needs to be followed and progressed and kept up with, I don't know if stale works.
So let me.
I can accept a different critique.
Let me see if I can explain that. When that person says stale, it could be two different things. It's stale to them.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
And to them, that's all that matters. Whether or not they like
that matters, right?
Right. That's all that matters to them. The other way is format. So yes, it may not have a story,
right,
but it does have a format. The format itself can theoretically be considered stale if a group of people, a lot of people decide I ain't really fucking with it. Now, I don't know that that's true because, like we said before, you might grow out of it.
Yeah.
But there's still waves and waves of other people. And as long as it's polished.
That's really my point, though. Because, like, so for instance, there are a lot of avenues of entertainment where the audience of that particular act grows with the act.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
When I hear stale, what I hear is you're not making the adjustments. Like if we're talking about
that's what I hear too. That's what I hear too.
It's literally a show that revolves cast members based on time, based on following, based on the trends of the world, like by its sheer nature.
But if you separate that out, that's about the nature of its casting. That speaks nothing of the format. That's literally casting.
That is absolutely true. But I need an example.
Oh no.
I need an example. Because it didn't happen with Saturday Night Live.
The price is right.
Okay, wait. That might work. That might work. Hold up. That might work. All right, let me think. Price is Right.
Is this still on? I don't even know.
I think so.
Okay.
And I don't know. My issue with The Price is Right for this example, I like it as an example for the most part. The only issue I have with it as an example is that there's a story of, Breaking Bad, the dude that played Jesse, Aaron Paul. His first time being on TV, he was a contestant on Price is Right. I don't know. Here's the thing. I
did
don't
not know that.
if that was happenstance,
Right.
or I don't know if
Right,
Price is Right is not
was
actually
like-
real.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, no,
So-
when I was growing up, Price is Right has been around since I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if this. I don't know, or if it could have adjusted by saying we're going to introduce. Because
Okay.
the love connection. There were actors on the Love Connection before.
Hold up.
Back in the day.
McKenna, that is my point. That is my point, McKenna. It's like any kid show, really, except maybe SpongeBob. The audience grows out of it, and it becomes stale to them, but not stale in society.
Because there's always a new audience.
That's what I mean.
It's
That's
always
the
a
point
new
that I'm
audience.
making. Because, like Palm said, same dry ass game, same dry ass freestyle. Yeah, you might feel that way, but clearly that's not the case.
Wave.
There's
that's coming behind you.
We're
There's a
not
wave
talking
coming behind you.
about. We're not talking about middling ratings and middling views.
Nigga,
no,
they go on tour across the country.
bruh. We're
Like,
talking
it's
about
a
they
wave
go on
behind.
tour. There are consistently stars coming out of this troupe. Like, it is not stale. You might have grown out of it. You might have grown tired of it. You might not like it anymore. But as an overall, it is not stale. It is not stale in any way, shape, or form.
That's why I said, like, sometimes we mistake individual preferences and growth for societal growth.
Yeah.
I had to get out of that too once I started like seeing how absolutely absurd. I can't project my perceptions of how things should be
Right.
on everybody else, because sometimes people don't see shit. Like, yo, I've literally said, yo, you don't see this is about to happen. No, you okay. And then it happened. It's like, now I realize, so
But
even though
switching
all
up for what? We're not now. Keep in mind, we're not talking about quality. We're not talking about something good or bad.
Let's talk about business for a second.
Bruh. It does not behoove them to change the things that are working.
Well, what would be the reasoning for them to change it if they're still getting good ratings? They still are going all across.
Then hold up. Stop. Ogma, no, they are not. Newer generations are watching this damn. Newer generations are watching.
Yo, look at the audience
in swaths.
Yo, look at the audience.
Hold on.
Look at the audience.
Let me
look at the ratings.
Let me check something out.
Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd.
Right.
That's kids. It's a bunch of young people up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me see. Wow, no. Do they have their own channel? They have their own channel.
Of course they do.
And I can look at their analytics. Let me pause that because you're being annoying. Where is it? Where is it? If I go to, it's funny because I just did this for the first time the other day. Let me see. Channel
I don't. Well, me. I look at 53 years old. I don't pretend to speak for the younger generation, right?
Right.
So all I'm doing is going off of what I observe.
Facts.
The times that I see that shit, clips of it on TV and shit like that, I look at the crowd, the audience.
Yeah,
it's a lot of young people out there. So, like, I don't think they are the newer generation, right? And they're going, yay, and that's so funny. So now if we look at their the ratings demographic breakdown, and if you see between a certain age, like a certain age between, let's say, 16 to 25, and they still rocking with it, I just saying.
Yeah. Good Cannon sketch comedy show, a revival of the 2005 MTV series of the same name, led the way with his fifth. When was this put out? Led the way with Its fifth season launched at 11 p.m.
Mhm.
The series averaged 1.1 million viewers and a 1.3 rating in the network's targeted 12 to 34
That's it, B.
demographic.
Listen.
The series performed especially well with teenagers, scoring a 2.9 rating with young men and a 2.1 rating among young women.
Right. Look, what I'm trying to tell y'all is
No, it's not just stop being cynical. It is not just Viacom.
no, it's not. Because listen, there have been other broadcasting giants that have failed.
Yes.
Warner Brothers was a broadcasting.
There are shows
giant.
on MTV that have failed.
Yeah.
There are shows on BET that have failed. There are shows on Nickelodeon that have failed. Viacom owns all of these things.
No, but see, this is I think what your blind spot might be, Agma. You're expecting.
Hold up. God damn it. Wait. We're not talking about the quality of something.
That's what I was about to say. Like,
I said that already. You're not talking about the quality.
You're expecting. You have, like a lot of artists have. We connected to our moral compass. You're an artist. Try to make the shit good. At least make it good. That's not what these companies are necessarily going for.
They don't
these
care
companies
about that as much.
Are going for. They're hitting. They're checking these boxes. So they're saying, does this show check these boxes, the same boxes that made it successful all this time, and is it still working? So their definition of it working is not from an artistic standpoint. Their definition of it working is, do people still watch this enough to spend money on this, and we can get advertising dollars off of it? And if that's the case, like, I no longer watch Sesame Street. As a kid, I watched Sesame Street. I matured up out of it. It holds no interest for me anymore. But there was a wave of kids after that was still watching Sesame Street. So the people, it was the thing. So because PBS is a little different than a lot of some of these other companies,
sure,
with the bottom line thing, it's a little different. But as an example, just because I grew out of it didn't mean it still didn't have an audience. Because people were still having kids, and kids were still into this. So even though I didn't moved on to other stuff, those kids, this is still fresh shit to them. This is fresh. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're not looking at it like because Tekashi sold, which by the way, Tekashi does not sell a lot of records anymore.
Yeah, no,
he doesn't. That's dead. He's doing everything he can to try to get relevant again. For real. You know what I'm saying? But if it sells, let me tell you something, man. I'm going to get, another classic example, just as an example. In boxing, right? A lot of boxing purists will say, I just want to see the best fighter fight his best contenders. You got the best fighters in the generation that's in the same weight class, and they not fighting each other. And that's ridiculous. They should be fighting each other. I hear you. Because as somebody that was a boxing person at one time myself, that was into it like that, I would have said the same thing. Except there's nuance. You see, back in those days, those boxers was not getting a whole bunch of money, but they were getting the shit beat out of them. You got these two dominant, skilled, tough beasts throwing blows. And they taking all this head contusions and all that other shit, and then they not getting the money for it. Years later, they got brain damage. They got other disabilities. The people that promoted that fight, they got a good fight out of it, and they got money. The fans got entertained, but the boxers didn't. So nowadays, you know what these boxers prioritize now? The money. They're in a check cashing business now, right?
Yep.
So what that means is, nigga, I don't care if he's the greatest boxer. If that don't benefit me to do, I'm not doing it. I'll fight this guy over here and get this big purse, and I'll just make a spectacle of this entire thing and get people into it. And I go in there and dust this guy off, and I'm good. The reason I know that's what they're thinking now, because I've had the fortune to talk to people in the industry. When SBJ and I was connected with the whole Rise podcast thing, they got a world champion over there.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a bunch of amateur fighters over there, amateur champions over there. And I've known Calvin for years. He's been saying that for years about it's the check cashing business. I know what the fans want. I know what they think they want. But these boxers now are prioritizing their health for afterwards. Literally the way they're charting Tank's career is to make sure he has a happy ever after, where he's not so fucked up with all kinds of brain damage and shit like that, and he's got money. That's where they're at now. So what the fans want is not necessarily what's good for the performers or the business a lot of the times. And if they don't coincide, just saying. Just saying.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's important. It's more important to be successful than critically acclaimed.
I'm gonna tell y'all now. Y'all know I'm an artist. I like to make some cool shit if I can. But I also want to be compensated for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens is when you're young, you are prioritizing different things when you become older.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is. That devil may care attitude that you have when you're young about it's for the art. The moment you start getting older and this thing that you have built gave all these great memories to all these people, but you're not compensated and other people are, you start feeling away. You start feeling away. The people that thrust you out there into the limelight because of your art, they all got compensated.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't. You start feeling away. So this is not, the difference is I feel like there should be a balance. I found the balance. My balance is when I'm creating, this is the art part. Once it's made and already fashioned into a product, now it's business time.
Yep.
It's business time. And also I do care about my legacy. You know what I'm saying? So certain shit I'm not doing. I'm not doing it. I don't want that on my shit. I don't want them to be able to pull at them and go, oh, look at that. Nope. Nope. But when you become an older artist, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like if that's how you made your money, that's how you basically pay for your lifestyle. And when you get older and you start to see the damn, what the fuck am I? Because once there comes a time, everybody is not Mick Jagger. Every artist ain't gonna be Mick Jagger where they are 350 years old and still able to
dream on. What?
Everybody not that. You're gonna prioritize different shit. You know what I'm saying? No, not even just that. Sometimes
you can take that route if you want to.
But
you know how that works out for you.
The other things you could do too is just beat. Like sometimes people beat selection.
I never knew.
Right? Like or it's just no, we're not doing that. Napalm. Like I just literally just said,
Palm. As a competitor, you should be all your way over here.
Listen. I just said certain shit I don't want on my discography. Nope. Look, you ain't
gonna do a song with Hendrix.
Listen, this is when Tombstone was in this polka phase. Nah, B, we not doing that. We not doing that. Not over here. He says he's getting ready as we speak.
Okay. All right.
Man, you better hurry up because let's see, it's 2:04. You got to get there in time. If you leave now, you'll probably be able to catch that 2:15 Vine over the
Oh my God, I don't like you. I don't like you.
Speed them branch grippers up.
Yo.
That 2:15 Vine is look. You don't want to miss it. But I think we had towards the end of this. So
yeah.
Got anything up? Bet. First, we want to thank once again everybody that showed up for another Saturday of our shenanigans. This is actually a pretty good show. Want to thank everybody who also has supported the Kickstarter while we sit here. I don't know. Well, yeah, it's been a few people in the chat that while we were talking about it, went over there and supported the Kickstarter. Shout out to you. Really appreciate you guys' support with this. Like, I have a really good feeling about this comic book company. I love this all this shit. Love all this comic book shit since I was a kid. So now to be able to publish books and do shit like that, that shit's a dream come true. Do not forget to check out Jaded Nerd's channel.
Facts.
He's doing some really good shit over there. He's actually stepping up his live streams more too. So I appreciate that. Do not forget Metas and Mutants, One Man Super Side Guy. Do not forget Deeper Dive, which it'll probably be another deeper dive in a month. But yeah.
No, listen. You know what's funny about that? I know I said I wasn't going to do every week because it's not real. It's not realistic. I have to not try to do that.
I don't think you tried. You just inspired. So
yeah,
that's it.
That's the thing. So and then it was like, all right, not every week, every other week, but even still, I look at these channels. They do not.
They don't be
every other week either.
I have some favorite video essay channels.
Bro,
I'll be looking like, yo, you ain't got.
It'd be a month.
Yeah, you got nothing new for me.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't watched nothing. You ain't have an epiphany about anything.
No.
Seen nothing you ain't like.
Not at all.
A way to relate it to this. You ain't none of that.
Not at all.
Nothing.
Not at all.
So it might be out tomorrow.
It might be. Listen. Deeper Dive might be out tomorrow, folks. After all, let's talk about the one thing.
Right.
Tomorrow.
It depends. Honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. It depends on how much work I get done with Poem.
Yeah.
And it depends on if I feel like doing work in the morning. Because I have several of them recorded. They're not edited.
Oh, wow.
So
no, that's a good way to do though. Have that shit in the cut.
Absolutely.
But the editing is definitely the work. But yeah, also, am I missing anybody?
You said
I said
you said Jaded Nerd, you said Deeper Dive, you mentioned the Kickstarter again. I think
that's where we at right now, right? That's where we at right now.
I think right now, yeah.
Also, I appreciate the fact that Cindy muted the ocean so she could listen to the show. Shout out to you, Cindy, for that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Zillow Simps. We're gonna talk about it. So for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.
Napalm, get your ass to work.